This play is pure chaos. There's so little through line. Characters are all over the place, storylines are all over the place, and I think it's absolutely delightful. Shakespeare wasn't writing a traditional tragedy, he wasn't writing a traditional romance or a traditional comedy. It's kind of everything. I really love that Shakespeare went there. He was doing commentary on things that nobody else was willing to talk about, and I really love that. What Shakespeare's getting at in talking in his commentary on war, on his commentary on like very casual sexual relationships that these characters are having with each other. Troilus Cressida and Pandarus are in the play. I don't know why it's called Troilus and Cressida. They're arguably the stars of the show, but they're just one part of the play. Troilus is one of many brothers. So this play is essentially following all the brothers, all the sons, and the one daughter of King Priam of the Trojans. So that's Troilus, Hector, Margarellen, Cassandra is the daughter, and then there's this whole subplot with the Greeks. Um, there's Ajax, Achilles, Patroclus, uh, Thersites. The whole concept of Neoteric players being unrehearsed, undirected. I'll give keywords and not much else. Feel free to dive in and discover the character as you go. Feel free to alter your own character decisions as you go if you don't like your own character decisions. Like, you can make this what you want to make it. Find the darkly absurdist elements of it and lean into the satire.
I'm Marissa Snook. I live in Woodstock, Illinois, north of Chicago. And I don't know, I think it's fun to say how I know you, Hunter. I know you through Mary Stewart and Woodstock Shakespeare Players.
Yeah, 2 shows now. Very fun.
Hey, I'm Sophia Folkerts. I'm living in Dayton, Ohio right now, and first met Hunter while we were both in college.
Yeah, we did Comedy of Errors together. Trying to remember if we did anything else.
Honestly, I don't remember. I might have been on crew for some of the shows you were in.
Yeah.
I'm George. I'm in Chicago, Illinois. I'm an actor, fighter and stunt performer, and VFX artist. And I met Hunter because of a wild show, original work called The Swordswomen of San Gimignano, where I just played a clown essentially and was fight captain and just threw myself on the stage every night.
It was wonderful.
While Hunter cringed every moment in the stage manager booth trying to keep us alive.
I wasn't cringing at you guys.
No, at the show.
The actors were great. We'll move on from that. Speaking of Swordswomen of San Gimignano, Maddie, hi.
Hi, I'm Maddie. I also live in Chicago, and I also met Hunter in Swordswomen of San Gimignano, which both physically and emotionally scarred me permanently. So, thank you.
I'm so excited to decide whether I edit that out.
Hi, my name is Kylie. I'm originally from South Dakota, but I'm in Crystal Lake, Illinois now, and I know Hunter from Woodstock Shakespeare Players. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Evan. I'm currently in a basement in London, Ohio. If my memory holds, the first show Sophia, Hunter, and I all were in together was Appointment with Death in college.
You're so right.
Which is another scarring show.
That is correct.
That is not what I'm plugging
count.
Yeah. I blocked that show out. Jerome, look, you and Marissa are on. Like, I feel like if you look close enough at Marissa's background, you can see a little Jerome closer.
Yeah, I'm back there. If you really got to zoom computer enhance it up, but I'm there.
Yeah.
We wanted to get far enough apart that there wouldn't be like a feedback or echo for the reading.
Right.
But hello, everyone. My name is Jerome Michael Jones. I'm from Northern Michigan, but I'm currently in Chicago. I currently am Chicago, the entire city of 50 million. I'm an actor. I'm a game master. Speaking of shows we'd like to forget, Hunter and I were both in a production of Trade Federation, or let's explore the Star Wars prequels through the lens of globalization and imperialism. Crazy, silly show.
It was a great title.
It was. It was a good title.
Short and sweet.
So are we trauma bonded as well?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Great. Only trauma bonds here.
I'm Allie. I am from Hammond, Louisiana, which is where I currently am. I know Hunter because I toured with him as an actor in Generate Camps in the summer of 2022. We also are trauma bonded from some moments in that summer, but we also had some great experiences too. It really was a very fruitful experience. So we've stayed friends ever since. And I currently am kind of a half actor, half director, based out of Louisiana. And I'm currently in a production of Newsies. So, if you find yourself in Hammond next weekend, that's when we open. So, y'all can take a trip down. But yeah, that's me.
Hi. I guess we're kind of trauma bonded as well. I
Where are we?
am from Chicago, but I am living in a ghost town in Michigan. And we're trauma bonded. I think the last show we did together, we were doing college shows at Cedarville, and we were in Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the children's version for college students. It
Yeah.
was an interesting.
Yeah, there
Kinda
weren't
sort of
really
cool.
any kids in the theater, like
No.
watching the show. It was a college show, so there
or
were
many
college
audience
students.
members.
Sorry, isn't that already a children's story?
It
Yeah.
is, but then they made it more. The director chose a more children's version of the children's story.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was great. It was fantastic.
puppet.
Steven, I haven't seen you in. Has it been like 5 years since I've seen you?
I think it's been 5 years. Yeah,
That's wild.
yeah.
Have fun, experiment, and yeah, let's dive into Troilus and Cressida.
In Troy there lies the scene. From isles of Greece, the princes Orgulus, their high blood chafed, have to the port of Athens sent their ships, fraught with the ministers and instruments of cruel war. 60 and 9 that wore their crownets regal from the Athenian bay, put forth toward Phrygia, and their vow is made to ransack Troy, within whose strong immures the ravished Helen, Menelaus' queen, with wanton Paris sleeps, and that's the quarrel. To Tenedos they come, and the deep-drawing barks do there disgorge their warlike fraughtage. Now on Dardan plains the fresh and yet unbruised Greeks do pitch their brave pavilions. Priam's six-gated city, Dardan and Timbria, Helios, Chaetus, Troyan, and Antenorides, with massy staples and their corresponsive and fulfilling bolts, spar up the sons of Troy. Now expectation, tickling skittish spirits on one and other side, Trojan and Greek, sets all on hazard. And hither am I come, a prologue armed, but not in confidence of author's pen or actor's voice, but suited in like conditions as our argument, to tell you, fair beholders, that our play leaps o'er the vaunt and firstlings of those broils, beginning in the middle, starting thence away to what may be digested in a play. Like or find fault, do as your pleasures are. Now good or bad, 'tis but the chance of war.
I'll hear my varlet, all in arm again. Why should I warp the walls of Troy that find such cruel battle here within? Each Trojan that is a master of his art, let him to field. Troilus, alas, hath none.
Will this gear never be mended?
The Greeks are strong and skillful to their strength, fierce to their skill, and to their fierceness valiant, but I am weaker than a woman's tear, tamer than sleep, fonder than ignorance, less valiant than the virgin in the night, and skillless as unpracticed infancy.
Well, I have told you enough of this. For my part, I not meddle more nor farther. He that will have a cake out of wheat must tarry the grinding.
Have I not tarried?
Aye, the grinding, but you must not tarry the bolting.
Have I not tarried?
Aye, the bolting, but you must not tarry, you must tarry the leavening.
Still, I have tarried.
Aye, the leavening. But hear yet the word hereafter, the kneading, in making the cake, the heating of the oven, and the baking. Nay, you must stay the cooling too. You may chance burn your lips.
Patience herself. What goddess ere she be, doth lesser blench at sufferance than I do. At Priam's royal table do I sit, and when fair Cressida comes into my thoughts, so traitor, when she comes, when is she thence?
Well, she looked yesternight fairer than ever. I saw her look, or any woman else.
I was about to tell thee, when my heart, as wedged with a sigh, would rive in twain, lest Hector or my father should perceive me, I have, as when the sun doth light a scorn, buried this sigh and wrinkle of a smile. But sorrow that is couched in seeming gladness is like that mirth fate turns sudden sadness.
And her hair were not something darker than Helen's. Well, go to, there was no more comparison between the women, but for my part, she is my kinswoman. I would not, as they term it, praise her, but would someone had heard her talk yesterday, as I did, I would not dispraise her, your sister Cassandra's wit.
Oh,
But
Pandarus! I tell thee, Pandarus, when I do tell thee, there my hopes lie drowned. Reply not in how many fathoms deep they lie indrenched. I tell thee, I am mad in Cressida's love. Thou answerest, she is fair, forced in the open ulcer of my heart. Her eyes, her hair, her cheek, her gait, her voice, handiest in thy discourse. Oh, that her hand, in whose comparison all whites are ink, writing their own reproach, to whose soft seizure the signet's down is harsh, and spirit of sense hard as the palm of plowmen. This thou tell'st me, as true thou tell'st me, when I say I love her. But saying thus, instead of oil and balm, thou layest in every gash that love hath given me the knife that made it.
I speak nothing more than the truth.
Thou dost not speak so much.
Faith, I'll not meddle in it. Let her be as she is. If she be fair, 'tis the better for her. And she be not, she has the men's in her own hands.
Good Pandarus. How now, Pandarus?
I have my labor for the travail. Ill thought on her, and ill thought on you. Gone between, but small thanks for my labor.
What, art thou angry, Pandarus? What, with me?
Because she's kin to me, therefore she's not as fair as Helen. And if she were not kin to me, she would be as fair of Friday as Helen is on Sunday. But what care I? I care not. She is not as were a Blackmore. 'Tis all one to me.
Say she is not fair.
I do not care whether you do or no. She is a fool to stay behind her father. Let her go to the Greeks, and so I'll tell her the next time I see her. For my part, I'll meddle no more, or no more is the matter.
Pandarus?
Not I.
Sweet Pandarus.
Pray you speak no more to me. I'll leave all as I found it, and that is the end.
Peace, you ungracious clamors. Peace, rude sounds. Fools both sides. Helen must needs be fair when with your blood you daily paint her thus. I cannot fight upon this argument. It's too starved a subject for my sword, but Pandarus. Oh gods, how do you plague me? I cannot come to Crescent but by Pander, and he's as etchy as to be wooed to woo, as she is stubborn chaste against all suit. Tell me, Apollo, for thy Daphnis love, what Crescent is, what Pander, and what we, her bed, is India. There she lies, pearl, between our Ilium and where she resides. Let it be called the wild and wandering flood, ourself the merchant, and this sailing Pander, our doubtful hope, our convoy, and our bark.
How now? Prince Troilus? Wherefore not afield?
Because not there. This woman's answers sorts, for womanish it is to be there from hence. What news, Aeneas, from the field today?
That Paris is returned home, and hurt.
By whom, Aeneas?
Troilus, by Menelaus.
Let Paris bleed. 'Tis but a scar to scorn. Paris is gored with Menelaus's horn.
Hark, what good sport is out of town today?
Better at home, if would I might were May, but to the sport abroad. Are you bound thither?
In all swift haste.
Come, go we then together.
Who are those went by?
Queen Hecuba and Helen.
And whither go they?
Up to the eastern tower, whose height commands as a subject all the vale, to see the battle. Hector, whose patience is a virtue fixed, today was moved. He chid Andromache, and struck his armor. And like as there were husbandry in war, before the sun rose he was harnessed light, and to the field goes he, where every flower did as a prophet weep, when it foresaw in Hector's wrath.
What was his cause of anger?
The noise goes this. There's among the Greeks a lord of Trojan blood, nephew to Hector. They call him Ajax.
Good, and what of him?
They say he is a very man, per se, and stands alone.
So do all men unless they are drunk, sick, or have no legs.
This man, lady, hath robbed many beasts of their particular additions. He is as valiant as the lion, churlish as the bear, slow as the elephant, a man into whom nature hath so crowded humours that his valour is crushed into folly, his folly sauced with discretion. There's no man hath virtue that he hath not a glimpse of, nor any man an attaint, but he carries some stain of it. He is melancholy without cause, and merry against the hair. He hath the joints of everything, but everything so out of joint that he is a gouty Briarchus. Many hands and no use, or purblind Argus, all eyes and no sight.
But how should this man that makes me smile make Hector angry?
They say he yesterday coped Hector in the battle and struck him down. The disdain and shame whereof hath ever since kept Hector fasting and waking.
Who comes here?
Madame, your uncle Pandarus.
Hector's a gallant man.
As may be in the world, lady.
What's that? What's that?
Good morrow, Uncle Pandarus.
Good morrow, Cousin Cressida. What do you talk of? Good morrow, Alexander. How do you do, cousin? What do you, when were you at Elam?
This morning, Uncle.
What were you talking about when I came? Was Hector armed and gone ere you came to Elam? Helen was not up, was she?
Hector was gone, but Helen was not up.
Even so, Hector was stirring early.
That were we talking of, and of his anger.
Was he angry?
So he says here.
True, he was so. I know the cause too. He'll lay about him today. I can tell them that, and there's Troilus will not come far behind him. Let them take heed of Troilus. I can tell them that too.
What, is he angry too?
Who, Troilus? Troilus is the better man of the two.
Oh, Jupiter, there's no comparison.
Not between Troilus and Hector. Do you know a man if you see him?
If I ever saw him before and knew him.
Well, I say Troilus is Troilus.
Then you say as I say, for I am sure he is not Hector.
No, nor Hector is not Troilus, in some degrees.
It's just to each of them, he is himself.
Himself, alas, poor Troilus, I would he were.
So he is.
Conditions I had gone barefoot to India.
He is not Hector.
Himself? No, he's not himself. Would he were himself, well, the gods are above, time must friend or end. Well, Troilus, well, I would my heart were in her body. No, Hector is not a better man than Troilus.
Excuse me.
He is elder.
Pardon me, pardon me.
The other not come to it. The other not come to it. You shall tell me another tale of when the other come to it. Hector shall not have his wit this year.
He shall not need it if he have his own.
Nor his qualities.
No matter.
Nor his beauty.
It would not become him. His own's better.
You have no judgment, niece. Helen herself swore the other day that Troilus was for a brown favor. For this, 'tis, I must confess, not brown neither.
No, but brown.
Faith, to say truth, brown and not brown.
To say the truth, true and not true.
She praised his complexion above Paris.
Why, Paris hath colour enough.
So he has.
And Troilus should have too much. If she praised him above, his complexion is higher than his. He having colour enough, and the other higher, is too flaming a praise for a good complexion. I had as lief Helen's golden tongue had commended Troilus for a copper nose.
I swear to you, I think Helen loves him better than Paris.
Then she's a merry Greek indeed.
Nay, I am sure she does. She came to him the other day in the compassed window, and you know he has not passed 3 or 4 hairs on his chin.
Indeed, a tapster's arithmetic may soon bring his particulars therein to a total.
Why, he is very young, and yet will he within 3 pounds lift as much as his brother Hector.
Is he so young a man and so old a lifter?
But to prove to you that Helen loves him, she came to put me her white hand on his cloven chin.
Juno have mercy. How came it cloven?
Why, you know 'tis dimpled. I think he's smiling because he's a better than any man in Phrygia.
Oh, he smiles valiantly.
Does he not?
Oh, yes, and for a cloud in autumn.
I go too then, but to prove to you that Helen loves Troilus.
Troilus will stand to the proof if you'll prove it so.
Troilus, why, he's esteemed to her no more than I esteem to an addled egg.
If you love an addle egg as well as you love an idle head, you would eat chickens in the shell.
I cannot choose but laugh to think how she tickles his chin. Indeed, she has marvelous white hands, and I must needs confess.
Without the rack.
And she takes upon her and spy a white hair on his chin.
Alas, poor chin. Many a wart is richer.
But there was such laughing. Queen Hecuba laughed her eyes ran over.
With millstones.
And Cassandra laughed.
But there was a more temperate fire under the pot of her eyes. Did her eyes run over too?
And Hector laughed.
And what was all this laughing?
Mary, at the white hair that Helen spied on Troilus's chin.
And had been a green hair, I should have laughed too.
They laughed not so much at the hair, but his pretty question.
What was his answer?
Quoth she, here's but 2 or 50 hairs on your chin, and one of them is white.
This is her question.
That's true, make no question of that. 2 or 50 hairs, quoth he, and one white. That white hair is my father, and all the rest is sons. Jupiter, quoth she, which of the hairs is Paris, my husband? The forked one, quoth he, plucked out and give it to him. Pluck it out and give it to him. But there was much laughing, and Helen was so blushed, and Paris so chafed, and all the rest laughed until it passed.
So let it now, for it has been a great while going by.
Well, cousin, I told you these things yesterday. Think on it.
So I do.
I sworn 'tis true. He will weep you, and 'twere a man born in April.
And I'll spring up in his tears, and 'twere a nettle against May.
Hark, they are coming from the fields. Shall we stand here and see them pass towards Ilum? Good niece, do so, sweet niece Cressida.
At your pleasure.
Here is an excellent place. Here we most see them most bravely. I'll tell you them all in their names as they pass by. But mark Troilus above the rest.
Speak not so loud.
That's Aeneas. Is not that a brave man? He is one of the flowers of Troy. I tell you, but mark Troilus. You'll see him anon.
Who's that?
That is a nator. He has a shrewd wit, I can tell you, and he's a good man enough. He's one of the soundest judgment in Troy, whosoever, and the proper man of person. When Troilus comes, I'll show you Troilus anon, and if he sees me, he shall nod to me.
Will he give you the nod?
You shall see.
If he do, the rich shall have more.
That's Hector. That look you, there's a fellow. Go thy way, Hector. There's a brave man, niece, brave Hector. Look how he looks. There's a countenance. Is it not a brave man?
Oh, a brave man.
Is he not? It does a man's heart good. Look at all the hacks on his helmet. Look at yonder, don't you see? Look you there. There's no jesting. Lay it on, take it off who will. As they say, there be hacks.
Be those with swords?
Swords, anything, he cares not. And the devil comes to him, it's all one. By God's lid, it does one's heart good. Yonder comes Paris, yonder comes Paris. Look yonder, niece. Isn't that a gallant man too? It's not? Why, this is a brave man, This is brave now. Who said he came hurt home today? He is not hurt. Why, this will do Helen's heart good to hear now. Would I see Troilus now? You shall see Troilus anon.
Who's that?
That's Helenus. I marvel at where Troilus is. That's Helenus. I think he went not forth today. That's Helenus.
Can Helenus fight, uncle?
Helenus? No. Yes, he'll fight indifferent. Well, I marvel where Troilus is. Hark, you do not hear people cry Troilus. Helenus is a priest.
What sneaking fellow comes yonder?
Where yonder? That's Diphaeus. 'Tis Troilus. Oh, there's the man, niece. Hern, brave Troilus, the prince of chivalry.
Peace, for shame, peace.
Mark him, note him. Oh, brave Troilus. Well upon him, niece, look how his sword is bloodied and his helm is hacked more than Hector, and how he looks and how he goes. Oh, admirable youth! He never saw 23. Go thy way, Troilus, go thy way. I had a sister were Grace, or a daughter, a goddess, he should take his choice. So admirable man. Paris is dirt to him. Oh, I warrant Helen, to change would give an eye a boot.
Here comes more.
Asses, fools, dolts, chaff and bran. Chaff is all chaff and bran and porridge after meat. I could live and die in the eyes of Troilus. Never look, never look. The eagles are gone. Crows and daws. I'd rather be such a man as Troilus than Agamemnon and all of Greece.
There is amongst the Greeks Achilles, a better man than Troilus.
Achilles, a dryman, a potter, a very camel.
Well, well.
Well, why have you any discretion? Have you any eyes? Do you not know this man, who this man is? Is not birth, beauty, good shape, discourse, manhood, learning, gentleness, virtue, youth, liberty, and such as like spice and salt to the season of man?
I, a minced man, and then to be baked with no date in the pie, for then the man's date is out.
You are such a woman, a man knows not what word you lie.
Upon my back to defend my belly, upon my wit to defend my wiles, upon my secrecy to defend mine honesty, my mask to defend my beauty, and you to defend all these. And at all these wards I lie, at 1,000 watches.
Say one of your watches.
Nay, I'll watch you for that. And that's one of the chiefest of them too. If I cannot ward what I would not have hid, I can watch you for telling how I took the blow, unless it's well past hiding, and then it's past watching.
You are such another.
Sir, my lord would speak instantly with you.
Where?
At your own house. There he unarms him.
Good boy, tell him I come. I doubt he be hurt. Fare you well, good niece.
I do, uncle.
I will be with you, niece, by and by.
To bring, uncle?
A token from Troilus.
By the same token, you are a bawd. Words, vows, gifts, tears, and love's full sacrifice he offers in another's enterprise. But more in Troilus 1,000-fold I see than in the glass of Pandarus praise may be. Yet hold I off. Women are angels, wooing. Things won are done, joy's soul lies in the doing, that she beloved knows not that knows not this. Men prize the thing ungained more than it is. Then she was never yet that never knew love got so sweet as when desire did sue. Therefore this maxim out of love I teach, achievement is command, ungained, besieged. Then though my heart's content firm love doth bear, nothing of that shall from mine eyes appear.
Princes, what grief has set the jaundice over your cheeks? The ample proposition that hope makes in all designs begun on earth below fails in the promised largeness. Checks and disasters grow in the veins of actions highest reared as knots by the complex of meeting sap, infects the sound pine and diverts his grain, tortive and errant from his course of growth. Nor, princess, is it a matter new to us that we have come short to our suppose so far, that after 7 years siege, yet Troy's walls stand, every action that hath gone before, whereof we have record, trial did draw, bias and thwart, not answering the aim and that unbodied figure of the thought that give its surmise shape. Why then, you princes, do you with cheeks abashed behold our works and call them shames, which are indeed not else but the protractive trials of great Jove to find persistive constancy of men? The fineness of which metal is not found in fortune's love. For then the bold and coward, the wise and fool, the artist and unread, the hard and soft seem all affined and kin. But in the wind and tempest of her frown, distinction with a broad and powerful fan, puffing at all, winnows the light away. And what hath mass or matter by itself lies rich in virtue unmingled.
With due observance of thy godlike seat, great Agamemnon, Nestor shall apply thy latest words. In the reproof of chance lies the true proof of men. The sea being smooth, how many shallow baubled boats dare sail upon her patient breast, making their way with those of nobler bulk? But let the ruffian Boreas once enrage in gentle Thyestes, and anon behold the strong-ribbed bark through liquid mountains cut, bounding between the two moist elements like Perseus' horse. Where's then the saucy boat, whose weak untimbered sides but even now co-rivaled greatness? Either to harbor fled, or made a toast for Neptune. Even so doth valor show and valor's worth divide in storms of fortune. For in her ray and brightness, the herd hath more annoyance by the breeze than by the tiger. But when the splitting wind makes flexible the knees of knotted oaks, and flies fled under shade, why then the thing of courage, as roused with rage doth sympathize, and with an accent tuned in self-same keys, retorts to chiding fortune.
Agamemnon, thou great commander, nerves and bone of Greece, heart of our numbers, sole and only sprite in whom the tempers and the minds of all should be shut up, hear what Ulysses speaks. Besides the applause and approbation, the which most mighty for thy place and sway, and thou most reverend for thy stretched out life, I give to both your speeches, which was such as Agamemnon and the hand of Greece should hold up high in brass, and such again as venerable Nestor, hatched in silver, should with a bond of air, strong as the axle tree on which heaven rides, knit all the Greekish ears to his experienced tongue. Yet let it please both, thou great and wise, to hear Ulysses speak.
Speak, Prince of Ithaca, and be it less expect the matter needless, but in portless burden divide thy lips, then we are confident when rake Thersites opes his mastic jaws. We shall hear music, wit, and oracle.
Troy, yet upon his basis, had been down, and the great Hector's sword had lacked a master but for these instances. The specialty of rule hath been neglected, and look how many Grecian tents do stand hollow upon this plain, so many hollow factions, when that the general is not like the hive to whom the foragers shall all repair. What honey is expected? Degree being vizarded, the unworthiest shows as fairly in the mask. The heavens themselves, planets, and the center observe degree, priority, and place, insisture, course, proportion, season, form, office, and custom in all line of order. And therefore is the glorious planet Sol in noble eminence enthroned and sphered amidst the other, whose medicinable eye corrects the influence of evil planets, and posts like the commandment of a king, sans check to good and bad. But when the planets in evil mixture to disorder wander, what plagues and what portents, what mutiny, what raging of the sea, shaking of earth, commotion in the winds, frights, changes, horrors, divert and crack, rend and deracinate the unity and married calm of states quite from their fixture. When degree is shaked, which is the ladder of all high designs, the enterprise is sick. How could communities, degrees in schools, brotherhoods in cities, peaceful commerce from dividable shores, the primogeniture and due of birth, prerogative of age, crowns, scepters, laurels, but by degree stand in authentic place? Take but degree away, untune that string, and hark what discord follows. Each thing meets in mere repugnancy. The bounded waters should lift their bosoms higher than the shores, and make a sop of all this solid globe. Strength should be the lord of imbecility, and the rude son should strike his father dead. Force should be right, or rather, right and wrong, between whose endless jar justice resides, should lose their names, and so should justice too, that everything includes itself in power, power into will, will into appetite, and appetite. Universal wolf, so doubly seconded with will and power, must make perforce a universal prey, and last, eat up himself. Great Agamemnon, this chaos, when degree is suffocate, follows the choking. And this neglection of degree, it is that by a pace goes backward, with a purpose it hath to climb. The general's disdained by him one step below, he by the next, that next by him beneath, and so every step exampled by the first pace that is sick of his superior grows to an envious fever of pale and bloodless emulation. And 'tis this fever that keeps Troy on foot, not her own sinews. To end a tale of length, Troy in our weakness stands, not in her strength.
Most wisely hath Ulysses here discovered the fever whereof all our power is sick.
The nature of the sickness found, Ulysses. What is the remedy?
The great Achilles, whom opinion crowns the sinew and the forehead of our host, having his ear full of his airy fame, grows dainty of his worth, and in his tent lies mocking our designs. With him Patroclus, upon a lazy bed that livelong day, breaks scurril jests, and with ridiculous and silly action, which slanderer he imitation calls, he pigeons us. Sometime, great Agamemnon, thy topless deputation he puts on, and like a strutting player, whose conceit lies in his hamstring, and doth think it rich to hear the wooden dialogue and sound twixt his stretched footing and the scaffoldage, such to be pitied and overrested seeming, he acts thy greatness in, and when he speaks, 'tis like a chime amending, with terms unsquared, which from the tongue of roaring Typhon dropped would seem hyperboles. But this fusty stuff, the large Achilles, on his pressed bed lolling from his deep chest, laughs out a loud applause, cries, "Excellent! 'Tis Agamemnon right. Now play me, Nestor, hem and stroke thy beard as he being dressed to some oration." That's done as near as the extremest ends of parallels, as like as Vulcan and his wife. And yet god Achilles still cries, "Excellent! 'Tis Nestor right. Now play him me, Patroclus," arming to answer in a night alarm. And then, forsooth, the faint defects of age must be the scene of mirth, to cough and spit, and with a palsy fumbling on his gorget, shake in and out the rivet. And at this sport Sir Valor dies, cries, "Oh, enough, Patroclus, or give me ribs of steel, I shall split all in pleasure of my spleen." and in this fashion. All our abilities, gifts, natures, shapes, severals and generals of grace exact, achievements, plots, orders, preventions, incitements to the field or speech for truce, success or loss, what is or not, serves as stuff for these two to make paradoxes.
And in the imitation of these twain, who, as Ulysses says, opinion crowns with an imperial voice, many are infect. Ajax is grown self-willed and bears his head in such a rein, in full as proud a place as broad Achilles. He keeps his tent like him, makes fastidious feasts, rails on our state of war, bold as an oracle, and sets Thersites, a slave whose gall coins slanders like a mint, to match us in comparisons with dirt, to weaken and discredit our exposure, how rank soever rounded in with danger.
They tax our policy and call it cowardice, count wisdom as no member of the war, forestall prescience, and esteem no act but that of hand. The still in mental parts that do contrive how many hands shall strike when fitness calls them on, and know by measure of their observant toil the enemy's weight, why, this hath not a finger's dignity. They call this bedwork, mappery, closet war, so that the ram that batters down the wall for the great swinge and rudeness of his poise, they place before his hand that made the engine, or those that with the fineness of their souls by reason guide his execution.
Let this be granted, and Achilles' horse makes many Thetis' sons.
What trumpet? Look, Menelaus.
From Troy.
What would you for our tent?
Is this great Agamemnon's tent, I pray you?
Even this.
May one that is a herald and a prince do a fair message to his kingly eyes.
With surety stronger than Achilles' arm, for the Greekish host which one voice call Agamemnon head and general.
Fair leave and large security. How may a stranger to those most imperial looks know from them from eyes of other mortals?
How?
I ask that I might waken reverence, and bid the cheek be ready with a blush, modest as morning, when she coldly eyes the youthful Phoebus. Which is that god in office guiding men, which is the high and mighty Agamemnon.
This Trojan scorns us, or the men of Troy are ceremonious courtiers.
Courtiers as free, as debonair, unarmed, as bending angels. That's their fame in peace. But when they would seem soldiers, they have galls, good arms, strong joints, true swords, and great Jove's accord, and nothing so full of heart. But peace, Aeneas, peace, Trojan, lay thy finger on thy lips. Worthiness of praise disdains his worth. If that the praised himself, bring the praise forth. But what the repining enemy commends, that breath fame blows, that praise soul pure transcends.
Sir, you a Troy, call yourself Aeneas?
I, Greek, that is my name.
What's your affair, I pray you?
Sir, pardon, 'tis for Agamemnon's ears.
He hears not privately that comes from Troy.
Nor I from Troy come not to whisper with him. I bring a trumpet to awake his ears, to set his sense on the attentive bent, then to speak.
Speak frankly as the wind. It is not Agamemnon's sleeping hour. That thou shalt know, Trojan, he is awake. He tells thee so himself.
Trumpet blow loud, send thy brass voice through all these lazy tents, and every Greek of metal let him know what Troy means. Fairly shall be spoke aloud. We have, great Agamemnon, here in Troy a prince called Hector. Priam is his father, who in this dull and long-continued truce is resty grown. He bade me take a trumpet, and this purpose speak. Kings, princes, lords, if there be one among the fairest of Greece that holds his honor higher than his ease, that seeks his praise more than he fears his peril, that knows his valor and knows not his fear, that loves his mistress more than in confession with truant vows to her own lips he loves, and dare avow her beauty and her worth in other arms than hers, to him this challenge. Hector, in view of Trojans and of Greeks, shall make it good, or do his best to do it. He hath a lady wiser, fairer, truer than ever Greek did couple in his arms, and will tomorrow, with his trumpet call, midway between your tents and the walls of Troy, to rouse a Grecian that is true in love. If any come, Hector shall honor him. If none, he'll say in Troy when he retires. If none, he'll say in Troy when he retires, the Grecian dames are sunburnt and not worth the splinter of a lance. Even so much.
This shall be told to our lovers, Lord Aeneas. If none of them have soul in such a kind, we have left all of them at home. But we are soldiers, and made that soldier a mere recreant prove that means not, hath not, or is not in love, then one is, or hath, or means to be, that one meets Hector. If none else, I am he.
Tell him of Nestor, one that was a man when Hector's grandsire sucked. He is old now. But if there be not in our Grecian host one noble man that hath one spark of fire to answer for his love, tell him from me. I'll hide my silver beard in a gold beaver, and in my vent brace put this withered brawn, and meeting him will tell him that my lady was fairer than his grandam, and as chaste as may be in the world. His youth in flood, I'll prove this truth with my 3 drops of blood.
Now heavens forfend some scarcity of youth.
Amen.
Fair Lord Aeneas, let me touch your hand. To our pavilion I shall lead you, sir. Achilles shall have a word of his intent. So shall each lord of Greece from tent to tent. Yourself shall feast with us before you go, and find a welcome of a noble foe.
Nestor,
What say, Ulysses?
I have a young conception in my brain. Be you my time to bring it to some shape.
What is't?
This 'tis. Blunt wedges rive hard knots. The seeded pride that hath to this maturity blown up in rank Achilles must now or now be cropped, or shedding, breed a nursery of like evil to overbulk us all.
Well, and how?
This challenge that the gallant Hector sends, however it is spread in general name, relates in purpose only to Achilles.
The purpose is pernicious, even as substance, whose grossness little characters sum up, and in the publication make no strain, but that Achilles, were his brains as barren as banks of Libya, though Apollo knows 'tis dry enough, will, with great speed of judgment, aye, with celerity, put Hector's purpose pointing on him.
And wake him to the answer, think you?
Yes, 'tis most meet. Whom may you well suppose that can from Hector bring his honor off, if not Achilles? Though it's be a sportful combat, yet in the trial much opinion dwells, for here the Trojans taste our dearest repute with their finest palates, and trust to me, Ulysses, our imputation shall be oddly poised in this wild action, for the success, although particular, shall give a scantling of good or bad unto the general, and in such indexes, although small pricks to their subsequent volumes, there is seen the baby figure of the giant mass of things to come at large. It is supposed he that meets Hector issues from our choice, and choice, being mutual act of all our souls, makes merit her election, and doth boil, as 'Twere from all us a man distilled out of our virtues, who, miscarrying, what heart receives from hence the conquering part to steal a strong opinion to themselves, which entertained limbs are his instruments, no less working than our swords and bows directed by the limbs.
Give pardon to my speech, therefore 'tis meet Achilles, meet not Hector. Let us, like merchants, first show foul wares, and think perchance they'll sell. If not, the luster of the better shall exceed by showing the worse first. Do not consent that ever Hector and Achilles meet, for both our honor and our shame in this are dogged with two strange followers.
I see them not with my old eyes. What are they?
What glory our Achilles shares from Hector, were he not proud, we all should share with him. But he already is too insolent, and it were better parch an Afric sun than in the pride and salt scorn of his eyes should he scape Hector fair. If he were foiled, why then we do our main opinion crush in taint of our best man. No, make a lottery, and by device let Blockish Ajax draw the sort to fight with Hector. Among ourselves give him allowance for the better man. For that will physic the great Myrmidon, who broils in loud applause, and make him fall, his crest that prouder than blue iris beds. If the dull, brainless Ajax come safe off, we'll dress him up in voices. If he fail, yet go we under our opinion still that we have better men. But hit or miss, our project's life this shape of sense assumes. Ajax employed plucks down Achilles' plumes.
Ulysses, now I begin to relish thy advice, and I will give a taste of it forthwith to Agamemnon. Go we to him straight, two curs shall tame each other. Pride alone must tear the mastiffs off, as 'twere their bone.
Thersites.
Agamemnon, how if he had boils full all over generally?
Thersites.
And those boils did run? Say so. Did not the general run then? Were not that a botchy core?
Dog.
Then would come some matter from him. I see none now.
Thou bitch wolf's son, cast thou not here? Feel them.
The plague of Greece upon thee, thy mongrel beef-witted lord.
Speak then, thou unsalted leaven, speak with, or I beat then with into thine handsomeness.
I shall sooner rail thee into wit and holiness, but I think thy horse will sooner con an oration than thou learn a prayer without book. Thou canst strike, canst thou? A red murrian o' thy jade's tricks.
Toadstool, learn me the proclamation.
Dost thou think I have no sense? Thou strikest thus?
The proclamation.
Thou art proclaimed a fool, I think.
Do not, Porpatine, do not my fingers itch.
I would thou didst itch from head to foot, and I had the scratching of thee. I would make thee the loathsomest scab in Greece. When thou art forth, the incursions thou strikest as slow as another.
I say the proclamation.
Thou grumblest and railest every hour on Achilles, and thou art as full of envy at his greatness as Cerberus is at Proserpine's beauty. Aye, that thou barkst at him.
Mistress Thersites.
Thou shouldst strike me. Or strike him.
Pablo.
He would pun thee into shivers with his fist, as a sailor breaks a biscuit.
You fearsome cur.
Oh, do.
Thou stool for a witch.
Aye, do. Thou sodden-witted lord, thou hast no more brain than I have in mine elbows. An Asingo may tutor thee. O scurvy valiant ass, thou art here but to thrash Trojans, and thou art bought and sold among those of any wit, like a barbarian slave. If thou used to beat me, I will begin at thy heel and tell what thou art by inches. Thou thing of no bowels, thou.
You dog.
You scurvy lord.
You purr.
Mars his idiot. Do rudeness, do camel, do.
Why now, Ajax? Wherefore do you thus? How now, Thersites? What's the matter, man?
You see him there, do you?
Aye, what's the matter?
Nay, look upon him.
So I do. What's the matter?
Nay, but regard him well.
Well, why, so I do.
But yet you look not well upon him. For whosoever you take him to be, he is Ajax.
I know that, fool.
Aye, but that fool knows not himself.
Therefore I beat thee.
Lo, what modicums of wit he utters! His evasions have ears thus long, I have bobbed his brains more than he had beat my bones. I will buy 9 sparrows for a penny, and his pia matter is not worth a 9th part of a sparrow. This lord Achilles Ajax, who wears his wit in his belly, his guts in his head, I'll tell you what I say of him.
What?
I say, this Ajax
Say, good Ajax.
has not so much a wit
Say, I must hold you.
as will stop the eye of Helen's needle, for whom he comes to fight.
Peace, fool.
I would have peace and quietness, but the fool will not. He there, that he, look you there.
Oh, thou damned cur! I shall.
Will you set your wit to a fool's?
No, I warrant you, for a fool's will shame it.
Good words, Thersites.
What's the quarrel?
I bade the vile owl to learn me the tenor of the proclamation, and he rails upon me.
I serve thee not.
Well, go to.
I serve here voluntarily.
Your last service was sufferance. 'Twas not voluntary. No man is beaten voluntary. Ajax was here, the voluntary, and you as under an impress.
E'en so, a great deal of your wit, too, lies in your sinews, or else there be liars. Hector, have a great catch. If he knock out either of your brains, we're as good crackle a fusty nut with no kernel.
What, with me too, Thersites?
There's Ulysses and old Nestor, whose wit was moldy ere your grandsires had nails on their toes. Yoke you like draught oxen and make you plow up the wars.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes, good sooth. To Achilles, to Ajax, to...
I shall cut out your tongue.
'Tis no matter. I shall speak as much as thou afterwards.
No more words, Thersites. Peace.
I will hold my peace when Achilles' branch bids me. Shall I?
There's for you, Patroclus.
I will see you hanged. Like clot poles. Ere I come any time to your tents, I will keep where there is wit stirring and leave the faction of fools.
A good riddance.
Marry this, sir, is proclaimed through all our host, that Hector, by the 5th hour of the sun, will with a trumpet twixt our tents and Troy, tomorrow morning call some knight to arms that hath a stomach, and such a one that dare maintain, I know not what, 'tis trash. Farewell.
Very well. Who shall answer him?
I know not. 'Tis but to lottery. Otherwise, he knew the man.
Oh, meaning you. I will go and learn more of it.
After so many hours, lives, speeches spent, thus once again says Nestor from the Greeks, deliver Helen in all damage else, as honor, loss of time, travel, expense, wounds, friends, and what else dear that is consumed, in hot digestion of this cormant war, shall be struck off. Hector, what say you to it?
Though no man lesser fears the Greeks than I, as far as toucheth my particular, yet, dread Priam, there is no lady of more softer bowels more spongy to suck in the sense of fear, more ready to cry out, "Who knows what follows?" than Hector is. The wound of peace is surety, secure. But modest doubt is called the beacon of the wise, the tent that searches to the bottom of the worst. Let Helen go, since the first sword was drawn about this question. Every tithe soul amongst many thousand dismies hath has been as dear as Helen, I mean of ours. If you've lost so many tenths of ours to guard a thing not ours, nor worth to us, had it our name, the value of 110, what merits in that reason which denies the yielding of her up?
Fie, my brother, weigh you the worth and honor of a king so great as our dread fathers in a scale of common ounces. Will you with counters sum the past proportion of his infinite, and buckle in a waist most fathomless with spans and inches so diminutive as fears and reasons? Fie, for godly shame!
No marvel, though you bite so sharp at reasons. You are so empty of them. Should not our father bear the great sway of his affairs with reason, because your speech hath none that tell him so?
You are for dreams and slumbers, brother priest. You fur your gloves with reason. Here are your reasons. You know an enemy intends you harm. You know a sword employed is perilous, and reason flies the object of all harm. Who marvels then, when Helenus beholds a Grecian and his sword? If he do set the very wings of reason to his heels, and fly like Kid Mercury from Jove, or like a star disorbed, nay, if we talk of reason, let's shut our gates and sleep. Manhood and honor should have hare hearts. Would they but fatten their thoughts with this crammed reason, and respect make livers pale and lustihood deject.
Brother, she is not worth what she doth cost the keeping.
What odd but has 'tis valued?
But value dwells not in particular will. It holds his estimate and dignity as well wherein 'tis precious of itself, as in the prizer. 'Tis mad idolatry to make the service greater than the god, and the will dotes that is attributive to what infectiously itself affects, without some image of the affected merit.
I take today a wife, and my election is led on in the conduct of my will, enkindled by mine eyes and ears, two traded pilots twixt the dangerous shores of will and judgment. How may I avoid, although my will distaste what it elected, the wife I choose? There can be no evasion to blench from this, and to stand firm by honor. We turn not back the silks upon the merchant when we have soiled them, nor the remainder viands we do not throw in unrespective sieve, because we now are full. It was thought meet Paris should do some vengeance of the Greeks. Your breath with full consent bellied his sails, the seas and wind. Old wranglers took a truce and did him service. He touched the ports desired, and for an old aunt whom the Greeks held captive, he brought a Grecian queen, whose youth and freshness wrinkles Apollo's and makes pale the morning. Why keep we her? The Grecians keep our aunt. Is she worth keeping? Why, she's a pearl, whose price hath launched above 1,000 ships, and turned crowned kings to merchants. If you'll avouch 'twas wisdom Paris went, as you must needs. For you all cried, go, if you'll confess he brought home worthy prize, as you must needs, for you all clapped your hands and cried, inestimable. Why do you now, the issue of your proper wisdom's rate, and do a deed that never fortune did, beggar the estimation which you prized richer than sea and land? Eft most base, that we have stolen what we do fear to keep, but thieves unworthy of a thing so stolen, that in their country did them that disgrace we fear to warrant in our native place.
Cry, Trojans, cry!
What noise? What shriek is this?
Ah, 'tis our mad sister, I do know her voice.
Cry, Trojans!
It is Cassandra.
Cry, Trojans, cry! Lend me 10,000 eyes, and I will fill them with prophetic tears.
Peace, sister, peace!
Virgins and boys, mid-aged and wrinkled elders, soft infancy that nothing canst but cry, add to my clamors, let us pay betimes a mighty of that mass of moan to come. Cry, Trojans, cry! Practice your eyes with tears. Troy must not be, nor godly Ilium stand. Our firebrand brother Paris burns us all. Cry, Trojans, cry! A Helen and a woe. Cry, cry! Troy burns, or else let Helen go.
Now, youthful Troilus, do not these high strains of divination in our sister work some touches of remorse? Or is your blood so madly hot that no discourse of reason nor fear of bad success in a bad cause can qualify the same?
Why, brother Hector, we may not think the justness of each act such and no other than event doth form it, nor once deject the courage of our minds, because Cassandra's mad. Her brain-sick raptures cannot distaste the goodness of a quarrel, which hath our several honors all engaged, to make it gracious. For my private part, I am no more touched than all of Priam's sons, and Jove forbid there should be done amongst us such things as might offend the weakest spleen to fight for and maintain.
Else might the world convince of levity, as well my undertakings as your counsels. But I attest the gods, your full consent gave wings to my propension, and cut off all fears attending on so dire a project. For what, alas, can these my single arms, what propugnation is in one man's valor? To stand the push and enmity of those this quarrel would excite? Yet I protest, were I alone to pass the difficulties and had as ample power as I have will, Paris should ne'er retract what he hath done, nor faint in the pursuit.
Paris, you speak like one besotted on your sweet delights. You have the honey still, but these the gall. So to be valiant is no praise at all.
Sir, I propose not merely to myself the pleasures such a beauty brings with it, but I would have the soil in her fair rape wiped off in honorable keeping her. What treason were it to the ransacked queen, disgrace to your great worths, and shame to me, now to deliver her possession up on terms of base compulsion? Can it be that so degenerate a strain as this should once set footing in your generous bosoms? There's not the meanest spirit in our party without a heart to dare or sword to draw. When Helen is defeated, nor none so noble whose life were ill bestowed, or death unfamed where Helen is the subject. Then I say, well, may we fight for her whom we know well. The world's large spaces cannot parallel.
Paris and Troilus, you have both said well, and on the cause and question now in hand have glozed, but superficially, not much. Unlike young men whom Aristotle thought unfit to hear moral philosophy, the reasons you allege do more conduce to the hot passion of distempered blood than to make up a free determination twixt right and wrong, for pleasure and revenge have ears more deaf than adders to the voice of any true decision. Nature craves all dues be rendered to their owners. Now what nearer debt in all humanity than wife is to the husband? If this law of nature be corrupted through affection, and that great minds of partial indulgence to their benumbed wills resist the same, there is a law in each well-ordered nation to curb those raging appetites that are more disobedient and refractory. If Helen then be wife to Sparta's king, as it is known she is, these moral laws of nature and of nations speak aloud to have her back returned. Thus, to persist in doing wrong extenuates not wrong, but makes it much more heavy. Hector's opinion is this in way of truth. Yet, nevertheless, my sprightly brethren, I propend to you in resolution to keep Helen still, for it is a cause that hath no mean dependence upon our joint and several dignities.
Why, there you touched the life of our design. Were it not glory that we were more affected in the performance of our heaving spleens, I would not wish a drop of Trojan blood spent more in her defense. But, worthy Hector, she is a theme of honor and renown, a spur to valiant and magnanimous deeds, whose present courage may beat down our foes. For I presume, brave Hector, would not lose so rich advantage of a promised glory as smiles upon the forehead of this action for the wide world's revenue.
I am yours, you valiant offspring of great Priamus. I have a roisting challenge sent amongst the dull and factious nobles of the Greeks, will strike amazement to their drowsy spirits. I was advertised their great general slept, whilst emulation in the army crept. This, I presume, will wake him.
How now, Thersites? What lost in the labyrinth of thy fury shall the elephant Ajax carry it thus? He beats me, and I rail at him. Oh, worthy satisfaction! Would it were otherwise, that I could beat him whilst he railed on me. Foot, I'll learn to conjure and raise devils, but I'll see some issue of my spiteful execrations. Then there's Achilles, a rare engineer. If Troy be not taken till these two undermine it, the walls will stand till they fall of themselves. Oh, thou great thunder darter of Olympus, forget that thou art Jove, the king of gods, and Mercury. Lose all the serpentine craft of thy Cadiuses. If ye take not that little less than little wit from them that they have, which short-armed ignorance itself knows is an abundant scarce, it will not in circumvention deliver a fly from a spider, without drawing their massy irons and cutting the web. After this, the vengeance on the whole camp, or rather the bone ache, for that methinks is the curse dependent on those that war for a planket. I have said my prayers, and devil envy say amen. What ho? My lord Achilles.
Who's there? Thersites? Good Thersites, come in and rail.
If I could have remembered a gilt counterfeit, thou wouldst not have slipped out of my contemplation. But it is no matter. Thyself upon thyself, the common curse of mankind, folly and ignorance, be thine in great revenue. Heaven bless thee from a tutor, and discipline come not near thee. Let thy blood be thy direction till thy death. Then if she lays thee out, say thou art a fair course. I'll be sworn and sworn up. She never shrouded but any lasers. Amen. Where's Achilles?
What, art thou devout? Wast thou in prayer?
Aye, the heavens hear me.
Amen.
Who's there?
Thersites, my lord.
Where? Where? Oh, where? Art thou come?
Why, my cheese, my digestion, why hast thou not served thyself into my table so many meals? Come, what's Agamemnon?
Thy commander Achilles. They tell me, Patroclus. What's Achilles?
Thy lord, Thersites. Then tell me, I pray thee, what's Thersites?
Thy knower, Patrocles. Then tell me, Patrocles, what art thou?
Thou must tell me that thou knowest.
Oh, tell.
I'll decline the whole question. Agamemnon commands Achilles. Achilles is my lord. I am Patroclus' knower, and Patroclus is a fool.
Oh, you rascal.
Peace, fool. I have not done.
He is a privileged man. Proceed, Thersites.
Agamemnon is a fool. Achilles is a fool. Thersites is a fool, and, as aforesaid, Patroclus is a fool.
Derive this. Come.
Agamemnon is a fool to offer to command Achilles. Achilles is a fool to be commanded of Agamemnon. Thersites is a fool to serve such a fool, and Patroclus is a fool positive.
Why am I a fool?
Make that demand of the provider. It suffices me. Thou art. Look you. Who comes here?
Patroclus, I'll speak with nobody. Come in with me, Thersites.
Here is such patchery, such juggling, and such knavery. All the argument is a cuckold and a whore, a good quarrel to draw emulous factions and bleed to death upon. Now the dry serpegio on the subject, and war and lechery confound all.
Where's Achilles?
Within his tent, but ill-disposed, my lord.
Let it be known to him that we are here. He sent our messengers, and we lay by our appertainments, visiting him. Let him be told so, lest perchance he think we dare not move the question of our place, or know not what we are.
I shall say so to him.
We saw him at the opening of his tent. He is not sick.
Yeah, he's lying sick of his proud heart. You may call it melancholy if you are a favor of the man, but my head 'tis pride. But why? Why? Let him show us his cause. A word, my lord.
What moves Ajax thus to bay at him?
Achilles hath inveigled his fool from him.
Who? Thersites.
He
Then will Ajax lack matter if he have lost his argument?
No, you see, he is his argument that has his argument. Achilles.
All the better. Their fraction is more arwish than their faction. But it was a strong composure a fool could disunite.
The amity that wisdom knits not, folly may easily untie. Here comes Patroclus.
Ah, no Achilles with him.
The elephant hath joints, but none for courtesy. His legs are legs for necessity, not for flexure.
Achilles bids me say he is much sorry. If anything more than your sport and pleasure did move your greatness and his noble state to call upon him, he hopes it is no other but your health and your digestion's sake, and after dinner's breath.
Hear you, Patroclus. We are too well acquainted with these answers, but his evasion, winged thus swift and scorn, cannot outfly our apparitions. Much attribute he hath, and much reason why he ascribed to him. Yet all his virtues not virtually on his own part beheld, do in your eyes begin to lose their gloss. Yeah, like fair fruit in an unwholesome dish are like to rot untasted. Go and tell him we come to speak with him, and you shall not sin if you do say we think him over proud or under honest, in a self-assumption greater than the note of judgment and worthier than himself. Here tend the savage straightness he puts on, disguise his holy strength under command, and underwrite in an observing kind, his humorous dominance. Yeah, watch his course in time ebbs and flows as if the passage and whole carriage of his action rode his tide. Go tell him this and add that if he overhold his price so much, will none of him, but let him, like an engine not portable, lie under his report, bring action hither. This cannot go to war. A stirring dwarf we due allowance give before a sleeping giant tell him so.
I shall, and bring his answer presently.
In second voice, we will not be satisfied. We come to speak with him. Ulysses, go enter you.
What is he more than another?
No more than what he thinks he is.
Is he so much? Do you not think he thinks himself a better man than I am?
No question.
Will you subscribe his thought and say he is?
No, noble Ajax, you are as strong, as valiant, as wise, no less noble, much more gentle, and altogether more tractable.
Why should a man be proud? How doth pride grow? I know not what pride is.
Your mind is clearer, Ajax, and your virtues are fairer. He that is proud eats up himself. Pride is his own glass, his own trumpet, his own chronicle, and whatever praises itself in the deed devours the deed in praise.
I do hate a proud man as I hate an engendering of toads.
Yet he loves himself. Is not strange.
Achilles will not to the field tomorrow.
What's his excuse?
He doth rely on none, but carries on the stream of his dispose, without observance or respect of any, in will peculiar, and in self-admission.
Why will he not, upon our fair request, intent his person and share the air with us?
Things small as nothing, for request's sake only, he makes important. Possessed he is with greatness, and speaks not to himself, but with a pride that quarrels at self-breath. Imagined worth holds in his blood such swollen and hot discourse, that twixt his mental and his active parts, kingdomed Achilles in commotion rages, and batters down himself. What should I say? He is so plaggy proud, that the death tokens of it cry no recovery.
Let Ajax go to him. Dear Lord, go you and greet him in his tent. 'Tis he holds you well and will be led at your request a little from himself.
Oh, Agamemnon, let it not be so. We'll consecrate the steps that Ajax makes when they go from Achilles. Shall the proud lord that bastes his arrogance with his own seam and never suffers matter of the world enter his thoughts, save such as doth revolve and ruminate himself, shall he be worshipped of that we hold an idol more than he? No, this thrice worthy and right valiant lord shall not so stale his palm nobly acquired, nor by my will subjugate his merit as amply titled as Achilles is, by going to Achilles. That were to enlard his fat already pride, and add more coals to cancer when he burns with entertaining great Hyperion. This lord go to him? Jupiter forbid, and say in thunder, Achilles, go to him.
Oh, this is well. He rubs the vein of him.
And how his silence drinks up this applause.
If I go to him, with my armest fist, I'll bash him over his face.
Oh, no, you shall not go.
And he be a proud of with me, I'll freeze his pride. Let me go to him.
Not for the worth that hangs upon our quarrel.
A paltry, insolent fellow.
How he describes himself.
Can he not be sociable?
Even chides blackness.
I'll let his humorous blood.
You will be the physician that should be the patient.
And all men were of my mind.
Wit would be out of fashion.
He should not bear it so. He should eat sword first. Shall pride carry it?
And 'twould you'ld carry half.
He would have 10 shares.
I'll knead him. I'll make him supple.
He's not yet through warm. Force him with praises. Pour in, pour in. His ambition is dry.
My lord, you feed too much on this dislike.
Our noble general, do not do so.
You must prepare to fight without Achilles.
Why, 'tis this naming of him does him harm. Here is a man, but 'tis before his face I will be silent.
Wherefore should you so? He is not emulous as Achilles is.
No, the whole world he is as valiant.
A whoresome dog that shall palter and with us thus. Who he were a Trojan. Would he be a Trojan?
What a vice were it in Ajax now?
If he were proud.
Or covetous of praise.
Aye, or surly born.
Or strange, or self-affected.
Thank the heavens, Lord, thou art of sweet composure. Praise him that gat thee, and she that gave thee suck. Famed be thy tutor, and thy parts of nature thrice famed beyond thy erudition. But he that disciplined thine arms to fight, let Mars divide eternity in twain, and give him half, and for thy vigor, bull-bearing Milo his addition yield to sinewy Ajax. I will not praise thy wisdom, which like a bourne, a pale, ashore confines thy spacious and dilated parts. He is Nestor, instructed by the antiquary times. He cannot but be wise. But pardon, Father Nestor, were your days as green as Ajax, and your brain so tempered, you should not have the eminence of him. But be as Ajax.
Shall I call you father?
Aye, my good son.
Be ruled by him, Lord Ajax.
There is no tarrying here. The heart Achilles keeps thicket. Please it our great general to call together all his state of war. Fresh kings are come to Troy. Tomorrow we must with all our main of power stand fast. And here's the Lord. Come, knights from east to west, and cull their flower. Ajax shall cope the best.
We shall go to council. Let Achilles sleep, light the boat sail swift, through the greater hulks draw deep.
Friend, pray you, a word. Do you not follow the young Lord Paris?
Aye, sir, he goes before me.
You depend upon him, I mean.
Sir, I do depend upon the Lord.
You depend upon a notable gentleman. I must needs praise him.
The Lord be praised.
You know me, do you not?
Nay, sir, superficially.
Friend, know me better. I am Lord Pandarus.
I hope I shall know your honor better.
I do desire it.
You are in the state of grace.
Grace, not so, friend. Honor and lordship are my titles. What music is this?
I do but partly know, sir. It is music in parts.
Know you the musicians?
Wholly, sir.
Who play they to?
To the hearers, sir.
At whose pleasure, friend?
At mine, sir. And theirs that love music.
Command, I mean, friend.
Who shall I command, sir?
Friend, we understand not one another. I am too courtly, for thou art too cunning. At whose request do these men play?
That's to it indeed, sir. Marry, sir, at the request of Paris, my lord, who is there in person with him, the mortal Venus, the heart-blood of beauty loves visible soul.
My cousin Cressida?
No, sir, Helen. Could you not find out that by her attributes?
It should seem, fellow, that thou hast not seen Lord Cressida. I come to speak with Paris from Prince Troilus. I will make a compliment assault upon him. For my business sees.
Saddle business. There's astute phrase indeed.
Fair be to you, my lord, and to all the fair company. Fair desires and the fair measure fairly guide them. Especially to you, fair queen, fair thoughts be for your fair Helen.
Oh, dear Lord, you're full of fair words.
You speak your fair pleasure, sweet queen. Fair prince, hear our good broken music.
You have broke it, cousin, and by my life you shall make it whole again. You shall piece it out with a piece of your performance. Nell, he is full of harmony.
Truly, lady, no.
Oh, sir.
Rude in sooth, in good sooth, very rude.
Well, my lord, well, you say so it fits.
I have business, my lord, dear queen. My lord, will you vouchsafe me a word?
Nay, this shall not hedge us out. We'll hear you sing, certainly.
Well, sweet queen, you are pleasant with me, but marry thus, my lord, my dear lord, and most esteemed friend, your brother Troilus.
My dear, my lord Pandarus, honey, sweet lord.
Go to, sweet queen, go to. Commends himself most affectionately to you.
You shall not bob us out of our medley. If you do, our melancholy will be upon your head.
Sweet queen, that's a sweet queen, aye, faith.
And to make a sweet lady sad is a sour offense.
Nay, that shall not serve your turn. That shall not. In truth, Lot, nay, I care not so much words. No, no, my lord, he desires that you, if the king call him to the supper, that you will make his excuse.
My lord Pandarus.
What says my sweet queen, my very, very sweet queen?
What exploits in hand? Where's Supsy tonight?
Nay, but my lord.
What says my sweet queen? My cousin will fall out with you.
You must not know where he sups.
I'll lay my life with my deposer Cressida.
No such matter. You are wide. Come, your disposer is sick.
Well, I'll make excuse.
Good my lord, why should you say Cressida? No, your proof disposer sick?
I spy.
You spy? What do you spy? Come, give me an instrument. Now, sweet queen.
Why, this is kindly done.
My niece is horrible in love with a thing you have, sweet queen.
She shall have it, my lord, if it not be my lord Paris.
No, she'll not have none of him. They two are twain.
Falling in after falling out may make them three.
Come. I hear no more of this. I'll sing you a song now.
Hey, prithee, now by mouth, sweet lord, thou hast a fine forehead.
Oh, you may.
Let thy song be love. This love will undo us all. Oh, Cupid.
Love, that it shall, faith.
Aye, good now. Love, nothing but love.
In good troth, it so begins. Love, nothing but love, still love, still more. For oh, love's bows shoot the buck in doe. The shaft confounds and not the wounds, and tickles still the shore. These loves cry, oh ho, they die, and yet it seems the wounds to kill. Doth turns, oh ho, to ha he he. So dying love stills, oh ho, a while, but ha ha ha, a ho groans for a ha ha ha, hey ho.
In love, I faith to the very tip of the nose.
He eats nothing but doves, love, and that breeds hot blood. And hot blood begets hot thoughts. And hot thoughts beget hot deeds. And hot deeds is love.
Is this the generation of love? Hot blood, hot thoughts, and hot deeds? Why, they are vipers. Is love a generation of vipers, sweet lord? Who's afield today?
Hector, Deiphobus, Helenus, Antenor, and all the gallantry of Troy. I would fain have armed today, but my Nell would not have it so. How chance my brother Troilus went not?
He hangs the lip at something. You know all, Lord Pandarus.
Not I, honey, sweet queen. I long to hear how they spent today. You'll remember your brother's excuse.
To a hair.
Farewell, sweet queen.
Commend me to your niece.
I will, sweet queen.
They'll come from field. Let us to Priam's hall to greet the warriors. Sweet Helen, I must woo you to help unarm our Hector. His stubborn buckles with these your white enchanting fingers touch shall more obey than to the edge of steel or force of Greekish sinews. You shall do more than all the island kings. Disarm great Hector.
'Twill make us proud to be his servant, Paris. Yet what he shall receive us in duty gives us more pomp and beauty than we have, yet overshines ourselves.
Sweet. Above thought, I love thee.
How now? Where's thy master? At my cousin's Cressida's?
No, sir. He stays for you to conduct him thither.
Here he comes. How now? How now?
Sirrah, walk off.
Have you seen my cousin?
No, Pandarus. I stalk about her door like a strange soul upon the Stygian banks, staying for waftage. Oh, be thou my Sharon, and give me swift transportance to those fields where I may wallow in the lily beds proposed for the deserver. Oh, gentle Pandar, from Cupid's shoulder pluck his painted wings and fly with me to the crescent.
Walk here and I the orchard. I'll bring her straight.
I'm giddy. Expectation whirls me round. The imaginary relish is so sweet that it enchants my sense. What will it be when that the watery palate taste indeed love's thrice repured nectar? Death, I fear me, swooning destruction, or some joy too fine, too subtle, potent, tuned too sharp in sweetness for the capacity of my ruder powers. I fear it much, and I do fear besides that I shall lose distinction in my joys, as doth a battle when they charge on heaps the enemy flying.
She's making ready. She'll come straight. You must be witty now. She does so blush and fetch her wind so short as that she were frayed with the spirit. I'll fetch her. It is the prettiest villain. She fetches her breath as short as a new in sparrow.
Even such a passion doth embrace my bosom. My heart beats bigger than a fever's pulse, and all my powers do their bestowing lose. Like vassalage at unawares encountering the eye of majesty.
Come. What need you blush? Shame's a baby. Here she is now. Swear the oath now that to her that you have sworn to me. What are you gone again? You must be watched ere you be made tame. Must you? Come your ways, come your ways. And you draw backward. We'll put you in the thills. Why do you not speak to her? Come, draw this curtain. Let's see your picture. Alas, the day, how loath you are you to offend daylight. And 'twere dark, you'd be closer soon. So come on and kiss the mistress. How now? Kiss a fee farm. Build there, carpenter, the air sweet, nay, you shall fight your hearts to air. I part you, the falcon and the trestle. For the ducks, I the river, go to go.
You have bereft me of all words, lady.
Words pay no debt. Give her deeds. But she'll bereave you of the deeds too, if she calls activity in question. What? Billing again? Here's I witness therefore the parties interchangeably. Come in, come in. I'll go get the fire.
Will you walk in, my lord?
Oh, Cressida, how often have I wished me thus?
Wishes, my lord? The gods grant, oh my lord.
What should they grant? What makes this pretty abruption? What too curious drag espies my sweet lady in the fountain of our love?
More dregs than water, if my fears have eyes.
Fears make devils of cherubims. They never see truly.
Blind fear, that seeing reason leads, finds safer footing than blind reason. Stumbling without fear, to fear the worst oft cures the worst.
Let my lady apprehend no fear. In all Cupid's pageant there is presented no monster.
Nor nothing monstrous neither?
Nothing but our undertakings. When we vow to weep seas, live in fire, eat rocks, tame tigers, thinking it harder for our mistress to devise imposition enough than for us to undergo any difficulty imposed. This is the monstrosity in love, lady, that the will is infinite and the execution confined, that the desire is boundless and the act a slave to limit.
They say all lovers swear more performance than they are able, and yet reserve an ability that they never perform, vowing more than the perfection of 10 and discharging less than the 10th part of 1. They that have the voice of lions and the act of hares, are they not monsters?
Are there such? Such are not we. Praise us as we are tasted. Allow us as we prove. Our head shall go bare till merit. Crown it. No perfection in reversion shall have a praise. In present we will not name desert before his birth, and being born his addition shall be humble. Few words to fair faith. Troilus shall be such to Cressida as what envy can say worst shall be a mock for his truth. And what truth can speak, truest, not truer than Troilus.
Will you walk in, my lord?
Blushing still? Have you not done talking yet?
Well, uncle, what folly I commit, I dedicate to you.
I thank you for that. If my lord get a boy of you, well, you'll give him me. Be true to my lord. If he flinch, chide me for it.
You know now your hostages, your uncle's word, and my firm faith.
Nay, I will give my word to her too. Our kindred, though they were long and they were wooed, they are constantly being one. They are burrs, I can tell you. They stick where they are thrown.
Boldness comes to me now and brings me heart. Prince Troilus, I have loved you night and day for many weary months.
Why was my Cressida then so hard to win?
Hard to see one, but I was one, my lord, with the first glance that ever... Pardon me, if I confess much, you will play the tyrant. I love you now, but till now, not so much. But I might master it. In faith, I lie. My thoughts were like unbridled children grown too headstrong for their mother. See, we fools, why have I blabbed? Who shall be true to us when we are so unsecret to ourselves? But though I loved you well, I wooed you not. And yet, good faith, I wished myself a man, or that we women had men's privilege of speaking first. Sweet, bid me hold my tongue, for in this rapture I shall surely speak the thing I shall repent. See, your silence, cunning in dumbness from my weakness, draws my very soul of counsel. Stop my mouth.
And shall, albeit sweet music, issues thence?
Pity, I faith.
My lord, I do beseech you, pardon me. 'Twas not my purpose thus to beg a kiss. I am ashamed. Oh, heavens, what have I done? For this time will I take my leave, my lord.
Your leave, sweet Cressida?
Leave? And you take your leave till tomorrow morning?
Pray you, content you.
What offends you, lady?
Sir, mine own company.
You cannot shun yourself.
Let me go and try. I have a kind of self resides with you, but an unkind self that itself will leave to be another's fool. I would be gone. Where is my wit? I know not what I speak.
Well, know they what they speak that speak so wisely?
Perchance, my lord, I show more craft than love, and fell so roundly to a large confession to angle for your thoughts. But you are wise, or else you love not, for to be wise and love exceeds man's might. That dwells with gods above.
Oh, that I thought it could be in a woman, as if it can, I will presume, in you. To feed for aye her lamp and flames of love, to keep her constancy in plight and youth, outliving beauty's outward with a mind that doth renew swifter than blood decays, or that persuasion could but thus convince me that my integrity and truth to you might be affronted with the match and weight of such a winnowed purity in love. How were I then uplifted? But alas, I am as true as truth's simplicity, and simpler than the infancy of truth.
In that I'll war with you.
O virtuous fight! When right with right wars, who shall be most right? True swains in love shall in the world to come approve their truth by Troilus. When their rhymes full of protest, of oath and big compare, wants similes, truth tired with iteration. As true as steel, as planted to the moon, as sun to day, as turtle to her mate, as iron to adamant, as earth to the center, yet after all comparisons of truth, as truth's authentic author to be cited, as true as Troilus shall crown up the verse and sanctify the numbers.
Prophet may you be, if I be false or swerve a hair from truth, when time is old and hath forgot itself, when water drops have worn the stones of Troy, and blind oblivion swallowed cities up, and mighty states characterless are granted to dusty nothing, yet let memory from false to false among false maids in love upbraid my falsehood. When they've said, as false as air, as water, wind, or sandy earth, as fox to lamb, or wolf to heifer's calf, pard to the hind, or stepdame to her son, yea, let them say, to stick the heart of falsehood as false as Cressida.
Go to, a bargain made. Seal it, seal it. I'll be the witness. Here I hold your hand, here my cousins, and if you ever prove false to one another, since I have taken such pains to bring you together, let a pitiful goers between be called to the world's end after my name. Call them all panders. Let all constant men be Troilus, all false women be Cressida, and all broken between panders. Say amen.
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 Amen. Whereupon I shall find you a chamber with a bed. Which bed? Shall it not speak of your pretty encounter? Press it to death. Away. And Cupid grant all tongue-tied maidens here bedchambers, pander to prove the gears.
Now, princes, for the service I have done you, the advantage of time prompts me aloud to call for recompense. Appear it to your mind that through the sight I bear in things to come, I have abandoned Troy, left my possession, incurred a traitor's name, exposed myself from certain possessed conveniences to doubtful fortunes, sequestering from me all that time, acquaintance, custom, and condition, made tame and most familiar to my nature, and here, to do your service, and become, as new into the world, strange and unacquainted, I do beseech you, as in way of taste, to give me now a little benefit, out of those many registered in promise, which you say live to come in my behalf.
What wouldst thou of us, Trojan? Make demand?
You have a Trojan prisoner called Antenor. Yesterday took. Troy holds him very dear. Often you have thanks therefore, desired my cressid in right great exchange, whom Troy hath still denied. But this Antenor, I know, is such a rest in their affairs that their negotiations all must slack. Wanting his managed, they will almost give us a prince of blood, a son of Priam. In change of him, let him be sent great princes, and he shall buy my daughter, and her presence shall quite strike off all service I have done in my most accepted pay.
Let Diomedes bear him and bring us Cressid hither. Calchus shall have what he request of us. Good Diomed, furnish you fairly for his interchange. With all bring word if Hector will tomorrow be answered in his challenge. Ajax is ready.
This shall I undertake, and 'tis a burden which I am proud to bear.
Achilles stands at the entrance of his tent. These at our general pass strangely by him, as if he were forgot. And princes all lay negligent and loose regard upon him. I will come last. 'Tis like he'll question me, why such unplausive eyes are bent, why I turned on him. If so, I have derision medicinable to use between your strangeness and his pride, which his own will shall have desire to drink. May do good. Pride hath no other glass to show itself but pride, for supple knees feed arrogance and are the proud man's fees.
We'll execute your purpose and put on a form of strangeness as we pass along. So do each lord, and either greet him not, or else disdainfully, which shall shake him more, if not looked on. I will lead the way.
What? Comes the general to speak with me? You know my mind. I'll fight no more against Troy.
What says Achilles? Would he not ought with us?
Would you, my lord, ought with the general?
No.
Nothing, my lord.
The better.
Good day, good day.
How do you? How do you?
What, does the cuckold scorn me?
Now, Patroclus.
Good morrow, Ajax.
Huh?
Good morrow.
Aye, a good next day too.
What mean these fellows? Know they not Achilles?
They pass by strangely. They were used to bend, to send their smiles before them to Achilles, to come as humbly as they used to creep to holy altars.
What, am I poor of late? 'Tis certain greatness, once fallen out with fortune, must fall out with men too. What, the declined is, he shall as soon read in the eyes of others as feel it in his own fall. For men, like butterflies, show not their mealy wings but to summer. And not a man, for being simply man, hath any honor, but honor for those honors that are within him, as place, riches, and favor, prizes of accident as oft as merit, which, when they fall, as being slippery slanders, the love that leaned on them as slippery too. Doth one pluck down another, and together die in the fall? But 'tis not so with me. Fortune and I are friends. I do enjoy, at ample point, all that I did possess, save these men's looks, who do, methinks, find out something not worth in me such rich beholding, as they have often given. Here is Ulysses. I'll interrupt his reading. How now, Ulysses?
Now, great Thetis' son.
What are you reading?
The strange fellow here writes me that man, how dearly ever parted, how much in having, or without, or in, cannot make boast to have that which he hath, nor feels not what he owes, but by reflection, as when his virtues, shining upon others, heat them, and they retort that heat again to the first giver.
This is not strange, Ulysses. The beauty that is born here in the face the bearer knows not, but commends itself to others' eyes. Nor doth the eye itself, that most pure spirit of sense, behold itself, not going from itself, but eye to eye opposed, salutes each other with each other's form. For speculation turns not to itself till it hath traveled and is mirrored there, where it may see itself. This is not strange at all.
I do not strain at the position, it is familiar, but at the author's drift, who in his circumstance expressly proves that no man is the lord of anything, though in and of him there may be much consisting, till he communicate his parts to others, nor doth he of himself know them for aught till he beholds them formed in the applause where they're extended, who like an arch reverberate the voice again, or like a gate of steel fronting the sun, receives and renders back his figure and his heat. I was much rapt in this, and apprehended here immediately the unknown Ajax. Heavens! Oh, what a man is there! A very horse that has he knows not what. Nature, what things there are. Most abject in regard and dear in use. What things again most dear in the esteem and poor in worth. Now shall we see tomorrow an act that very chance doth throw upon him, Ajax renowned. Oh, heavens, what some men do while some men leave to do. How some men creep in skittish Fortune's hall, whilst others play the idiots in her eyes. How one man eats into another's pride, while pride is fasting in his wantonness. To see these Grecian lords, why, even already they clap the lubber Ajax on the shoulder, as if his foot were on brave Hector's breast, and great Troy shrieking.
I do believe it, for they passed by me as misers do beggars, neither gave to me good word nor look. What? Are my deeds forgotten?
Time hath my lord a wallet at his back, wherein he puts alms for oblivion. A great-sized monster of ingratitudes. Those scraps are good deeds past, which are devoured as fast as they are made, forgot as soon as done. Perseverance, dear my lord, keeps honor bright. To have done is to hang quite out of fashion, like a rusty mail in monumental mockery. Take the instant way, for honor travels in a strait so narrow one but goes abreast. Keep then the path, for emulation hath 1,000 sons that one by one pursue. If you give way, or turn aside from the direct forthright, like to an entered tide, they all rush by, and leave you hindmost, or like a gallant horse, fall in first rank, lie there for pavement to the abject rear, or run and trampled on. Then, what they do in present, though less than yours in past, must o'ertop yours, for time is like a fashionable host that slightly shakes his parting guest by the hand, and with his arms outstretched as would fly, grasps in the corner. Welcome ever smiles, and farewell goes out sighing. Let not virtue seek remuneration for the thing it was. For beauty, wit, high birth, vigor of bone, desert and service, love, friendship, charity, are subjects all to envious and calumniating time. One touch of nature makes the whole world kin. That all, with one consent, praise newborn gods, though they are made and molded of things past, and give to dust, that is a little guilt more laud than guilt o'erdusted. The present eye praises the present object, and marvel not, thou great and complete man, that all the Greeks begin to worship Ajax, since things in motion sooner catch the eye than what stirs not. The cry went once on thee, and still it might, and yet it might again, if thou wouldst not entomb thyself alive, in case thy reputation and thy tent, whose glorious deeds but in these fields of late made emulous missions mongst the gods themselves, and drave great Mars to faction.
This, my privacy, I have strong reasons.
But gainst your privacy, the reasons are more potent and heroical. 'Tis known, Achilles, that you are in love with one of Priam's daughters.
No?
Is that a wonder? The Providence that's in a watchful state knows almost every grain of Pluto's gold, finds bottom in the incomprehensive deep, keeps place with thought, and almost like the gods do thoughts unveil in their dumb cradles. There is a mystery with whom relation durst never meddle, in the soul of state, which hath an operation more divine than breath or pen can give expression to. All the commerce that you have had with Troy as perfectly is ours as yours, my lord. And better would it fit Achilles much to throw down Hector than Polyxena. But it must grieve young Paris now at home, when fame shall in our island sound her trump, and all the Greekish girls shall tripping sing, Great Hector's sister did Achilles win, but our great Ajax bravely beat down him. Farewell, my lord. I, as your lover, speak. The fool slides o'er the ice that you should break.
To this effect, Achilles, I have moved you. A woman, impudent and mannish grown, is not more loathed than an effeminate man in time of action. I stand condemned for this. They think my little stomach to the war, and your great love to me restrains you thus. Sweet, rouse yourself, and the weak, wanton Cupid shall from your neck unloose his amorous fold, and, like a dewdrop from the lion's mane, be shook to air.
Shall Ajax fight with Hector?
Aye, and perhaps receive much honor by him.
I see my reputation is at stake. My fame is shrewdly gored.
Oh, then beware. Those wounds heal ill that men do give themselves. Omission to do what is necessary seals a commission to a blank of I cannot read at all. Omission to do what is necessary seals a commission to a blank of danger, and danger, like an ague subtle taints, even then when they sit idly in the sun.
Go call fair Cressida, sweet Patroclus. I'll send the fool to Ajax and desire him to invite the Trojan lords after the combat to see us here unarmed. I have a woman's longing, an appetite that I am sick withal, to see great Hector in the weeds of peace, to talk with him and to behold his visage, even to my full of view. A labor saved.
A wonder.
What?
Ajax goes up and down the field asking for himself.
How so?
He must fight singly tomorrow with Hector, and is so prophetically proud of a heroical cudgeling that he raves in saying nothing.
How can that be?
Why, he stalks up and down like a peacock, astride in a stand, ruminates like a hostess that hath no arithmetic, but her brain to set down her reckoning, bites his lip with a politic regard, as one who should say, there were wit in this head, and 'twould out. And so there is, but it lies as coldly in him as fire in a flint, which will not show without knocking. A man's undone forever, for if Hector break not his neck in the combat, he'll break it himself in vainglory. He knows not me. I said, good morrow, Ajax, and he replies, thanks, Agamemnon. What think you of this man that takes me for the general? He's grown a very landfish, languageless, a monster, a plague of opinion. A man may wear it on both sides like a leather jerkin.
Thou must be my ambassador to him, Thersites.
Who, I? Why, he'll answer nobody. He professes not answering. Speaking is for beggars. He wears his tongue in's arms. I will put on his presence. Let Patroclus make demands to me. You shall see the pageant of Ajax.
To him, Patroclus. Tell him I humbly desire the valiant Ajax to invite the most valorous Hector to come unarmed to my tent, and to procure safe conduct for his person of the magnanimous and most illustrious, 6 or 7 times honored, Captain General of the Grecian army, Agamemnon, etc., etc. Do this.
Jove bless great Ajax.
Huh.
I come from the worthy Achilles,
Ha!
who most humbly desires you to invite Hector to his tent,
Hum.
and to procure safe conduct from Agamemnon.
Agamemnon.
Aye, my lord.
Ha!
What say you to it?
God, bewie you with all my heart.
Your answer, sir.
If tomorrow be a fair day, by 11 o'clock it will go one way or other. Howsoever he shall pay for me ere he has me.
Your answer, sir.
Fare you well, with all my heart.
Why, but he is not in this tune, is he?
No, but he's out a tune thus. What music will be in him when Hector has knocked out his brains? I know not, but I am sure none unless the fiddler Apollo gets his sinews to make cattlings on.
Thou shalt bear a letter to him straight.
Let me bear another to his horse, for that's the more capable creature.
My mind is troubled, like a fountain stirred, and I myself see not the bottom of it.
Would the fountain of your mind were clear again, that I might water an ass in it. I had rather be a tick in a sheep than such a valiant ignorance.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Hello, we're going to take a little break. And we're going to be back here in 10 minutes, 7:45 Central Time Zone. Everybody good? How are we doing? Amazing.
Good.
Cool beans.
Boom. Chocolate.
We're starting Act 4, Scene 1, right?
Yes. Act 4, Scene 1. Everybody's doing a different Shakespeare play, though. So have fun.
I got Titus.
Great. Oh, wait. What's the bad guy?
Doing Shakespeare
Titus?
abridged.
I love the villain of Titus. I mean, he's horrible, but he's so well written. Anyway. Yeah, so we're back. We're doing, this is like something like 5 or 6 months later. We made it, and this is Acts 4 and 5. The social commentary is through the roof in this thing. Like he's really got a lot to say about corruption and horrible people. Great. All right. Let's jump into Troilus and Cressida Act 4 when you're ready.
See-ho. Who is that there?
It is the Lord Aeneas.
Is the prince there in person? Had I so good an occasion to lie long as you, Prince Paris, nothing but heavenly business should rob my bedmate of my company.
That's my mind too. Good morrow, Lord Aeneas.
A valiant Greek Aeneas. Take his hand.
Witness the process of your speech wherein you told how Diomed, a whole week by days, did haunt you in the field.
Health to you, valiant sir, during all questions of the gentler truce. But when I meet you armed as black defiance as heart can think, of courage execute.
The one and other Diomed embraces. Our bloods are now in calm and so long health. But when contention and occasion meet, by Jove, I'll play the hunter for thy life, with all my force, pursuit, and policy.
And thou shalt hunt a lion that will fly with his face backward. In human gentleness, welcome to Troy. Now, by Anchises' life, welcome indeed. By Venus's hand, I swear, no man alive can love in such a sort the thing he means to kill more excellently.
We sympathize. Jove let Aeneas live. If to my sword his fate be not the glory, 1,000 complete courses of the sun, and in mine emulous honor let him die, with every joint a wound, and that tomorrow.
We know each other well.
We do, and long to know each other worse.
This is the most despiseful gentle greeting, the noblest hateful love that e'er I heard of. What business, lord, so early?
I was sent for to the king, but why I know not.
His purpose meets you. 'Twas to bring this Greek to Calchus' house, and there to render him for the freed Antenor, the fair Cressida. Let's have your company, or if you please, haste there before us. I constantly do think, or rather call my thoughts a certain knowledge. My brother Troilus lodges there tonight. Rouse him and give him note of our approach, with the whole quality therefore. I fear we shall be much unwelcome.
That I assure you. Troilus had rather Troy were born to Greece than Cressida born from Troy.
There is no help. The bitter disposition of the time will have it so. On, Lord, we'll follow you.
Good morrow, all.
And tell me, noble Diomed, faith, tell me true, even in the soul of sound good fellowship, who in your thoughts merits fair Helen best? Myself or Menelaus?
Both alike. He merits well to have her that doth seek her, not making any scruple of her soilier, while with such a hell of pain and world of charge, and you as well to keep her that defend her, not palating the taste of her dishonor, with such costly loss of wealth and friends, he, like a puling cuckold, would drink up the lees and dregs of a flat tamed peace. You, like a lecher, out of whorish loins, are pleased to breed out your inheritors. Both merits poised, each weighs nor less nor more, but he as he, the heavier for a whore.
You are too bitter to your countrywoman.
She is bitter to her country. Hear me, Paris, for every false drop in her body veins, a Grecian's life hath sunk. For every scruple of her contaminated carrion weight, a Trojan hath been slain. Since she could speak, she hath not given so many good words breath, as for her Greeks and Trojans suffered death.
Fair Diomed, you do as chapmen do, dispraise the thing that you desire to buy. But we in silence hold this virtue well. We'll but commend what we intend to sell. Here lies our way.
Dear, trouble not yourself. The morn is cold.
Then sweet, my lord, I'll call mine uncle down. He shall unbolt the gates.
Trouble him not. To bed, to bed. Sleep kill those pretty eyes, and give as soft attachment to thy senses as infants empty of all thought.
Good morrow, then.
I prithee now, to bed.
Are you aweary of me?
Oh, Cressida, but that the busy day, waked by the lark, hath roused the ribald crows, and dreaming night will hide our joys no longer. I would not from thee.
Night hath been too brief.
Beshrew the witch! With venomous wights she stays as tediously as hell, but flies the grasps of love, with wings more momentary, swift than thought. You will catch cold and curse me.
Prithee, tarry. You men will never tarry. Oh, foolish Cressida! I might have still held off, and then you would have tarried. Hark, there's one up.
All the doors open here.
It's your uncle.
Pestilence on him. Now will he be mocking? I shall have such a life.
How now? How goes maidenheads? Here, you maid. Where's my cousin Cressid?
Go hang yourself, you naughty mocking uncle. You bring me to do, and then you flout me too.
To do what? To do what? Let her say what? What have I brought you to do?
Come, come, beshrew your heart. You'll ne'er be good, nor suffer others.
Alas, poor wretch. Oh, poor Capuchia. Has not slept tonight? Would he not be a naughty man? Let it sleep. A bugbear take him.
Did not I tell you? Would he were knocked in the head. Who's that at the door? Good uncle, go and see. My lord, come you again into my chamber. You smile and mock me, as if I meant naughtily.
Oh!
Come, you are deceived. I think of no such thing. How earnestly they knock. Pray you come in. I would not for half Troy have you seen here.
Who's there? What's the matter? Will you beat down the door? How now? What's the matter?
Good morrow, lord. Good morrow.
Who's there? Oh, my lord Aeneas. By my troth, I knew you not. What's news with you so early?
Is not Prince Troilus here?
Here? What should he do here?
Come, he is here, my lord. Do not deny him. It doth import him much to speak with me.
Is he here, you say? Oh, it's more than I know. I'll be sworn. For my own part, I came late. I should. What should he do here?
Oh, nay, then. Come, come. You'll do him wrong ere you are ware. You'll be so true to him to be false to him. Do not you know of him, but yet go fetch him thither. Go.
What? How now? What's the matter?
My lord, I scarce have leisure to salute you, my matter is so rash. There is at hand Paris, your brother, and Deiphobus, the Grecian Diomed, and our Antenor delivered to us, and for him forthwith. Ere the first sacrifice within this hour, we must give up to Diomedes' hand the lady Cressida.
Is it so concluded?
By Priam and the general state of Troy, they are at hand and ready to effect it.
How my achievements mock me. I will go meet them, and my lord Aeneas, we met by chance. You did not find me here.
Good, good, my lord. The secrets of nature have not more gift in taciturnity.
Isn't possible. No sooner got but lost. The devil take Antenor. The young prince will go mad. The plague upon Antenor. I would they had broken necks.
How now? What's the matter? Who is here? Why sigh you so profoundly? Where's my lord? Gone? Tell me, sweet uncle, what's the matter?
Would I were as deep under the earth as I am above.
Oh, the gods, what's the matter?
Pray thee, get thee in. Would thou hasn't near been born. I knew thou wouldn't be his death. Oh, poor gentleman, a plague upon Antenor.
Good uncle, I beseech you, on my knees, I beseech you, what's the matter?
Thou must be gone, wench. Thou must be gone. Thou art changed for Antenor. Thou must thy father be gone from Troilus. 'Twill be his death. 'Twill be his bane. He can't bear it.
Oh, you immortal gods, I will not go.
Thou must.
I will not, uncle. I have forgot my father. I know no touch of consanguinity, no kin, no love, no blood, no soul so near me as the sweet Troilus. Oh, you gods divine, make Cressid's name the very crown of falsehood if ever she leave Troilus. Time, force, and death do to this body what extremes you can, but the strong base and building of my love is as the very center of the earth, drawing all things to it. I'll go in and weep, tear my bright hair and scratch my praised cheeks. crack my clear voice with sobs, and break my heart with sounding Troilus. I will not go from Troy.
It is great morning, and the hour prefixed of her delivery to this valiant Greek comes fast upon. Good my brother Troilus, tell you the woman what she is to do, and haste her to the purpose.
Walk into her house. I'll bring her to the Grecian presently. And to his hand when I deliver her. Think it an altar, and thy brother Troilus a priest there, offering to his own heart.
I know what 'tis to love, and would, as I shall pity, I could help. Please you walk in, my lords.
Moderate, be moderate.
Why tell you me of moderation? The grief is fine, full, perfect that I taste, and violent as in a sense as strong as that which causeth it. How can I moderate it? If I could temporize with my affection, or brew it to a weak and colder palate, the like allayment could I give my grief. My love admits no qualifying dross, no more my grief in such a precious loss.
Here. He comes, my sweet ducks.
Oh, Troilus, Troilus!
What a pair of spectacles is here. Let him embrace too, O hearts, as goodly saying is, O heart, heavy heart, why sight thou within breaking? Where he answers again, because thou canst not ease thy smart, thy friendship, nor by speaking, there was never a truer rhyme. Let us cast away nothing, for we may live to have no need to not need such a verse. We see it. We see it now. How now, lambs?
Cressida, I love thee in so strained a purity that the blessed gods is angry with my fancy, more bright in zeal than the devotion which cold lips blow to their deities. Take thee from me.
Have the gods envy?
Aye, 'tis too plain a case.
And is it true that I must go from Troy?
A hateful truth.
What, and from Troilus too?
From Troy and Troilus.
Is it possible?
And suddenly, where injury of chance puts back leave-taking, jostles roughly my all time of pause, rudely beguiles our lips of all rejoinder, forcibly prevents our locked embrasures, strangles our dear vows, even in the birth of our own laboring breath, we two, that with so many thousand sighs did buy each other, most poorly sell ourselves with the rude brevity and discharge of one. Injurious time now with a robber's haste crams his rich thievery up he knows not how. As many farewells as be stars in heaven with distinct breath, and consigned kisses to them, he fumbles up into a loose adieu, and scants us with a single famished kiss, distasted with the salt of broken tears.
My lord, is the lady ready?
Hark! You are called. Some say the genius cries so to him that instantly must die. Bid them have patience, she shall come anon.
Where are my tears? Praying to lay on this wind, and my heart will be blown up by the root.
I must, then, to the Grecians.
No remedy.
A woeful Cressida amongst the merry Greeks. When shall we see again?
Hear me, my love. Be thou but true of heart.
Ay, true. How now, what wicked deem is this?
Nay, we must use expostulation kindly, for it is parting from us. I speak not, be thou true as fearing thee, for I will throw my glove to death himself, that there is no maculation in thy heart. But, be thy true, say I, well, to fashion in my sequent protestation, be thou true, and I will see thee.
Oh, you shall be exposed, my lord, to dangers as infinite as imminent. But I'll be true.
And I'll grow friend with danger. Wear this sleeve.
And you this glove. When shall I see you?
I will corrupt the Grecian sentinels to give thee nightly visitation, but yet be true,
Oh, heavens, be true again.
Hear why I speak it, love. The Grecian youths are full of quality. They're loving, well composed, with gift of nature flowing, and swelling o'er with arts and exercise. How novelty may move, and parts with person, alas, a kind of godly jealousy, which I beseech you call a virtuous sin, makes me afeard.
Oh, heavens, you love me not.
Die I a villain, then. In this I do not call your faith in question so mainly as my merit. I cannot sing, nor heal the high lavolt, nor sweeten talk, nor play at subtle games, fair virtues all, to which the Grecians are most prompt and pregnant. But I can tell that in each grace of these there lurks a still and dumb discursive devil that tempts most cunningly. But be not tempted.
Do you think I will?
No. But something may be done that we will not. And sometimes we are devils to ourselves when we will tempt the frailty of our powers, presuming on their changeful potency.
Nay, good my lord.
Come, kiss, and let us part.
Brother Troilus.
Good brother, come you hither, and bring Aeneas and the Grecian with you.
My lord, will you be true?
Who I? Well, alas, it is my vice, my fault. Whiles others fish with craft for great opinion, I with great truth catch mere simplicity. Whilst some with cunning gild their copper crowns with truth and plainness, I do wear mine bare. Fear not my truth, the moral of my wit is plain and true. There's all the reach of it. Welcome, Sir Diomed. Here is the lady, which for Antenor we deliver you. At the port, lord, I'll give her to thy hand, and by the way possess thee what she is. Entreat her fair, and by my soul, fair Greek, if e'er thou stand at mercy of my sword, name Cressida, and thy life shall be as safe as Priam is in Ilium.
Fair Lady Cressida, so please you save the thanks this prince expects. The lustre in your eye, heaven in your cheek, pleads your fair usage, and to Diomed you shall be mistress and command him wholly.
Grecian, thou dost not use me courteously to shame the zeal of my petition to thee in praising her. I tell thee, Lord of Greece, she is as far high soaring o'er thy praises as thou unworthy to be called her servant. I charge thee, use her well, even for my charge, for by the dreadful Pluto, if thou dost not, though the great bulk Achilles be thy guard, I'll cut thy throat.
Oh, be not moved, Prince Troilus. Let me be privileged by my place and message to be a speaker free. When I am hence, I'll answer to my lust, and know you, lord, I'll nothing do on charge. To her own worth she shall be prized, but that you say, be it so, I speak it in my spirit and honor. No.
Come to the port. I'll tell thee, Diomed, this brave shall oft make thee to hide thy head. Lady, give me your hand, and as we walk to our own selves, bend we our needful talk.
Hark! Hector's trumpet!
How we have spent this morning. The prince must think me tardy and remiss that swore to ride before him to the field.
'Tis Troilus' fault. Come, the field with him.
Let us make ready straight.
Yea, with a bridegroom's fresh alacrity, let us address to tend on Hector's heels. The glory of our Troy doth this day lie on his fair worth and single chivalry.
Hear thou in appointment fresh and fair, anticipating time with startling courage. Give thou thy trumpet a loud note to Troy, thou dreadful Ajax, that appalled air may pierce the head of the great combatant and hail him hither.
Thou trumpet, here's thy purse. Now crack thy lungs and split thy brazen pipe. Blow, villain, until thy sphered biased cheeks outswell thy colic and puffed aquilion. Come stretch thy chest and let thy eyes spout blood. Thou blowest for Hector.
No trumpets answers.
'Tis but early days.
Is not yon Diomede and Calchus' daughter?
'Tis he. I ken the manner of his gait. He rises on the toe. That spirit of his in aspiration lifts him from the earth.
Is this the Lady Cressida?
Even she.
Most dearly welcome to the Greeks, sweet lady.
Our general doth salute you with a kiss.
Yet it is the kindness but particular. 'Twere better she were kissed in general.
And very courtly counsel I'll begin. So much for Nestor.
I'll take that winter from your lips, fair lady. Achilles bids you welcome.
I had a good argument for kissing once.
That's no argument for kissing now. For thus popped Paris in his parliament, and parted thus you in your argument.
Oh, deadly gall and theme of all our scorns, for which we lose our heads to gild his horns.
The first was Menelaus' kiss, this mine. Patroclus kisses you.
Oh, this is trim.
Paris and I kiss evermore for him.
Oh, have my kiss, sir, lady, by your leave.
In kissing, do you render or receive?
Both take and give.
I'll make my match to live. The kiss you take is better than you give. Therefore, no kiss.
I'll give you boot. I'll give you 3 for 1.
You're an odd man. Give even or give none.
An odd man, lady? Every man is odd.
No, Paris is not. For you know 'tis true that you are odd, and he is even with you.
You fillip me on the head.
No, I'll be sworn.
It were no match, your nail against his horn. May I, sweet lady, beg a kiss of you?
You may.
Yea, do desire it.
Why, beg to.
Why then, for Venus' sake, give me a kiss when Helen is a maid again and his.
I'm your debtor. Claim it when 'tis due.
Never's my day, and then a kiss of you.
Lady, a word. I'll bring you to your father.
A woman quick of sense.
Fie upon her. There's language in her eye, her cheek, her lip, nay, her foot speaks. Her wanton spirits look out at every joint and motive of her body. Oh, these encounterers, so glib of tongue that give accosting welcome ere it comes, and wide unclasp the tables of their thoughts to every tickling reader. Set them down for sluttish spoils of opportunity, and daughters of the game.
The Trojan trumpet.
Trumpet.
Yonder comes the troop.
Hail, all the state of Greece! What shall be done to him that victory commands? Or do you purpose a victor shall be known? Will you, the knights, shall to the edge of all extremity pursue each other? Or shall they be divided by any voice or order of the field? Hector bade ask.
Which way would Hector have it?
He cares not. He'll obey conditions.
'Tis done like Hector.
But securely done, a little proudly, and a great deal misprizing the knight opposed.
If not Achilles, sir, what is your name?
If not Achilles, nothing.
Therefore Achilles. But whate'er, know this. In the extremity of great and little, valor and pride excel themselves in Hector. The one almost as infinite as all, the other blank as nothing. Weigh him well, and that which looks like pride is courtesy. This Ajax is half made of Hector's blood, in love whereof half Hector stays at home, half heart, half hand, half Hector, comes to seek this blended knight, half Trojan and half Greek.
A maiden battle, then? Oh, I perceive you.
Here, Sir Diomede, go, gentle knight, stand by our Ajax. As soon as you and Lord Aeneas, consent upon the order of their fight, so be it. Enter the uttermost, or else a breath. The combatants being kin, half stints their strife before the strokes begin.
They are opposed already.
What Trojan is that the same that looks so heavy?
The youngest son of Priam, a true knight, not yet mature, yet matchless firm of word, speaking in deeds, and deedless in his tongue, not soon provoked, nor being provoked, soon calmed. His heart and hand both open and both free. What he has he gives, what thinks he shows, yet gives he not till judgment guide his bounty, nor dignifies and impair thought with breath. Manly as Hector, but more dangerous, for Hector in his blaze of wrath subscribes to tender objects. But he in heat of action is more vindicative than jealous love. They call him Troilus, and on him erect a second hope, as fairly built as Hector. Thus, says Aeneas, one that knows the youth even to his inches, and with private soul did in great Ilium thus translate him to me.
They are in action.
Now, Ajax, hold thine own.
Hector, Hector, thou sleepest, awaken me.
His blows are well disposed. There, Ajax.
You must know more.
Princes, enough, so please you.
I'm not warmed up yet. Let us fight again.
Hector pleases.
Why then I will know more. Thou art, great lord, my father's sister's son, a cousin german to great Priam's seed. The obligation of our blood forbids a gory emulation twixt us twain. Were that I commiction Greek and Trojan so, that thou couldst say, this hand is Grecian all, and this is Trojan, the sinews of his leg. All Greek, and this all Troy. My mother's blood runs on the dexter cheek, and this sinister bounds in my father's. By Jove multipotent, thou shouldst not bear from me a Greekish member, wherein my sword had not impressure made. Our rank feud, but just the gods gainsay, that any drop thou borrowedst from thy mother, my sacred aunt, should by my immortal sword be drained. Let me embrace thee, Ajax. By him that thunders, thou hast lusty arms. Hector would have them fall upon him thus. Cousin, all honor to thee.
I thank thee, Hector. Thou art too gentle and too free a man. I came here to kill thee, cousin. I bear he hence a great addition earned in thy death.
Not Neoptolemus so mirable, on whose bright crest fame, with her loudest oyez cries, this is he, could promise to himself a thought of added honor torn from Hector.
There is expectance here from both the sides. What further will you do?
We'll answer it. The issue is embracement. Ajax, farewell.
If I might entreaties find success, as sled I have by the chance, I would desire my famous cousin to our Grecian tents.
'Tis Agamemnon's wish, and great Achilles doth long to see unarmed the valiant Hector.
Aeneas, call my brother Troilus to me, and signify this loving interview to the expectors of our Trojan part. Desire them home. Give me thy hand, my cousin. I will go eat with thee, and see your knights.
Great Agamemnon, come to meet us here.
The worthiest of them tell me name by name. But for Achilles, my own searching eyes shall find him by his large and portly size.
Worthy all arms, as welcome as to one that would be rid of such enemy. But that's no welcome. Understand more clear. What's past and what's to come is screwed with husk and formless ruin of oblivion. But in this extant moment, faith and troth, strained purely from all hollow base drawing, bids thee the most divine integrity. From heart of very heart, great Hector, welcome.
I thank thee, most imperious Agamemnon.
My well-famed lord of Troy, no less to you.
Let me confirm my princely brother's greeting. You brace of warlike brothers, welcome hither.
Who must we answer?
The noble Menelaus.
Oh, you, my lords. By Mars, his gauntlet thanks. Mock not that I affect the untraded oath. Your quondam wife swears still by Venus's glove. She's well, but bade me not commend her to you.
Name her not now, sir. She's a deadly theme.
Oh, pardon, I offend.
I have, thou gallant Trojan, seen thee oft labouring for destiny, make cruel way through ranks of Greekish youth, and I have seen thee, as hot as Perseus, spur thy Pyrean steed, despising many forfeits and subduements, when thou hast hung thy advanced sword in the air, not letting it decline on the declined. That I have said to some my standers by, Lo, Jupiter is yonder dealing life! And I have seen thee pause and take thy breath, when that a ring of Greeks had hemmed thee in, like an Olympian wrestling, this have I seen. But this thy countenance still locked in steel, I never saw till now. I knew thy grandsire, and once fought with him. He was a soldier good, but by great Mars, the captain of a soul, never saw like thee. Let an old man embrace thee, and worthy warrior, welcome to our tents.
The old Nestor.
Let me embrace thee, good old chronicle. Thou hast so long walked hand in hand with time, most reverend Nestor. I'm glad to clasp thee.
I would my arms could match thee in contention, as they contend with thee in courtesy.
I would they could.
Ha! But this white beard, he'll fight with thee tomorrow. Well, welcome, welcome. I have seen the time.
I wonder now how yonder city stands when we have here her base and pillar by us.
I know your favor, Lord Ulysses, well. Ah, sir, there's many a Greek and Trojan dead, since I first saw yourself and Diomed in Ilium on your Greekish embassy.
Sir, I foretold you then what would ensue. My prophecy is but half his journey yet. For yonder walls that pertly front your town, yon towers whose wanton tops do bust the clouds, must kiss their own feet.
I must not believe you. There they stand yet. And modestly, I think the fall of every Phrygian stone will cost a drop of Grecian blood. The end crowns all, and that old common arbitrator, time, will one day end it.
So to him we leave it, most gentle and most valiant Hector. Welcome. After the general, I beseech you next to feast with me and see me at my tent.
I shall forestall thee, Lord Ulysses, thou. Now, Hector, I have fed mine eyes on thee. I have with exact view perused thee, Hector, and quoted joint by joint.
Is this Achilles?
I am Achilles.
Stand fair, I pray thee. Let me look on thee.
Behold thy fill.
Nay, I've done already.
Thou art too brief. I will the second time, as I would by thee, view thee limb from limb.
Oh, like a book of sport thou would read me o'er. But there's more in me than thou understand'st. What'st thou so oppress me with thine eye?
Tell me, you heavens, in which part of his body shall I destroy him? Whether there, or there, or there,
that I may give the local wound a name, and make distinct the very breach whereout Hector's great spirit flew. Answer me, heavens!
It would discredit the blessed gods, proud man, to answer such a question. Stand again. Thinkest thou to catch my life so pleasantly as to prenominate in nice conjecture where thou wilt hit me dead?
I tell thee, yea.
Wert thou an oracle to tell me so, I'd not believe thee. Henceforth, guard thee well. For I'll not kill thee there, nor there, but by that forge that steadied Mars his helm, I'll kill thee everywhere. Yea, o'er and o'er, you wisest Grecians, pardon me this brag. His insolence draws folly from my lips. But I'll endeavor deeds to match these words, or may I never.
Do not chase thee, cousin. And you, Achilles, let these threats alone, till accident or purpose bring you to do it. You may have every day enough of Hector, and if you have the stomach, the general state, I fear you scarce entreat you to be odd with him.
I pray you, let us see you in the field. We have had pelting wars since you refused the Grecians' cause.
Dost thou entreat me, Hector? Tomorrow do I meet thee, fell as death. Tonight, all friends.
My hand upon that match.
First, all you peers of Greece, go to my tent. There, in the full connive we afterwards, as Hector's leisure and your bounty shall concur together, severally entreat him. Beat loud the torabins, let the trumpets blow, that his great soldier may his welcome know.
My lord Ulysses, tell me, I beseech you, in what place of the field doth Calchus keep?
At Menelaus's tent, most princely Troilus. There Diomede doth feast with him tonight, who neither looks upon the heaven nor earth, but gives all gaze and bent of amorous view on the fair Cressida.
Shall I, sweet lord, be bound to you so much, after we part from Agamemnon's tent, to bring me thither?
You shall command me, sir. As gentle, tell me, of what honor was this Cressida in Troy? Had she no lover there that wails her absence?
Oh, sir, to such as boasting show their scars a mock is due. Will you walk on, my lord? She was beloved, she loved, she is, and doth, but still sweet love is food for fortune's tooth.
I'll heat his blood with Greekish wine tonight, which with my scimitar I'll cool tomorrow. Patroclus, let us feast to him the height.
Here comes Thersites.
How now, thou core of envy? Thou crusty botch of nature, what's new?
Why, thou picture of what thou seem'st, an idol of idiot worshippers. Here's a letter for thee.
From whence, fragment?
Why, thou full dish of fools from Troy.
Who heats the tent now?
The surgeon's box or the patient's wound.
Well said, adversity. And what need these tricks?
Prithee be silent, boy. I profit not by thy talk. Thou art thought to be Achilles' male varlet.
Male varlet, you rogue. What's that?
Why, his masculine whore. Now the rotten diseases of the south, the guts-gripping ruptures, catarrhs, loads of gravel in the back, lethargies, cold palpacies, raw eyes, dirt rotten livers, wheezing lungs, bladders full of impostume, scalities, lime kilns in the palm, incurable bone ache, and the riveled fee simple to the tether, take and take again, such preposterous discoveries.
Why, thou damnable box of envy? Thou, what means thou to curse thus?
Do I curse thee?
Why? No, you ruinous butt, you whore son, indistinguishable Her? No.
No. Why art thou then exasperate, thou idle immaterial skein of sleeth silk, thou green'st sark-knit flap from a sour eye, thou tassel of a prodigal's purse, thou? Ah, how a poor world is pestered with such waterflies, diminutives of nature.
Out, gull.
Finch egg.
My sweet Patroclus, I am thwarted quite from my great purpose in tomorrow's battle. Here is a letter from Queen Hecuba, a token from her daughter, my fair love, both taxing me and gagging me to keep an oath that I have sworn. I will not break it. Fall, Greeks. Fail, fame. Honor, or go or stay. My major vow lies here. This I'll obey. Come, come, Thersites. I'll help to trim my tent. This night and banqueting must all be spent. Away, Patroclus.
With too much blood and too little brain, these two may run mad. But if with too much brain and too little blood they do, I'll be the curer of a madman. Here's Agamemnon, an honest fellow enough and one that loves quails, but he has not so much brain as earwax. And the goodly transformation of Jupiter there, his brother, the bull, the primitive statue, an oblique memorial of cuckolds, a thrifty shoeing horn in a chain, hanging at his brother's leg. To what form? But that he is, should wit larded with malice and malice forced with wit turn him to an ass where nothing. He is both ass and ox. To an ox where nothing. He is both ox and ass. To be a dog, a mule, a cat, a fitchew, a toad, a lizard, an owl, a puttock, for a herring without a roe, I could not care. But to be Menelaus, I would conspire against destiny. Ask me not what I would be if I were not Thersites, for I care not to be the louse of a Lazar. So I were not Menelaus. Heyday, fire, spirits and fires.
We go wrong, we go wrong.
Oh, yonder, 'tis there, where we see the lights.
I trouble you.
No, not a whit.
Here comes himself to guide you.
Welcome, brave Hector. Welcome, princes all.
So now, fair Prince of Troy, I bid good night. Ajax commands the guard to tend on you.
Thanks. And good night to the Greeks general.
Oh, good night, my lord.
Good night, my sweet lord Menelaus.
Sweet draught, sweet, quoth they, sweet sink, sweet sewer.
Good night, and welcome, both at once, to those that go or tarry.
Good night.
Old Nestor tarries, and you too, Diomed. Keep Hector company an hour or two.
I cannot, lord. I have important business, the tide whereof is now. Good night, great Hector.
Give me your hand.
Follow his torch. He goes to Calchus's tent. I'll keep you company.
Sweet sir, you honor me.
And so, good night.
Come, enter my tent.
That same Diomede's a false-hearted rogue, a most unjust knave. I will no more trust him when he leers than I will a serpent when he hisses. He will spend his mouth and promise like Brabbler the hound, but when he performs, astronomers foretell it. It is prodigious. There will come some change. The sun borrows the moon when Diomed keeps his word. I will rather leave to see Hector than not to dog him. They say he keeps a Trojan drab and uses a traitor Calchus' tent. All after. Nothing but lechery. All incontinent varlets.
What? Are you up here, ho? Speak.
Who calls?
Diomed. Calchus, I think. Where's your daughter?
Yeah, she comes to you.
Stand where the torch may not discover us.
Cressida comes forth to him.
How now, my charge?
Now, my sweet guardian, hark, a word with you.
Yea, so familiar?
She will sing any man at first sight.
And any man may sing her if he can take her cliff, she's noted.
Will you remember?
Remember? Yes.
Nay, but do then, and let your mind be coupled with your words.
Oh, what should she remember?
List.
Sweet honey Greek, tempt me no more to folly.
Roguery.
Nay, then.
I'll tell you what.
Foe, come. Tell a pin, you are forsworn.
In faith, I cannot. What would you have me do?
A juggling trick, to be secretly open.
What did you swear you would bestow upon me?
I prithee do not hold me to mine oath. Bid me do anything but that, sweet Greek.
Good night.
How now, Trojan?
Diomed.
No, good night. I'll be your fool no more.
I better must.
Hark, a word in your ear.
Oh, plague and madness!
You are moved, Prince. Let us depart, I pray you, lest your displeasure should enlarge itself to wrathful terms. This place is dangerous, the time right deadly. I beseech you, go.
Behold, I pray you.
Nay, good my lord, go off. You flow to great distraction. Come, my lord.
I prithee, stay.
You have not patience. Come.
I pray you, stay. By hell and all hell's torments, I will not speak a word.
And so good night.
Nay, but you part in anger.
Doth that grieve thee? O withered truth!
How now, my lord?
By Jove, I will be patient.
Guardian, why Greek?
Foe, adieu. You palter.
In faith, I do not. Come hither once again.
You shake, my lord, at something. Will you go? You will break out.
He strokes his cheek.
Come.
Nay, stay. By Jove, I will not speak a word. There is between my will and all offences a guard of patience. Stay a little while.
How the devil luxury with his fat rump and potato finger tickles these together. Fry, lechery, fry.
But will you then?
In faith, I will. Never trust me else.
Give me some token for the surety of it.
I'll fetch you one.
You have sworn patience.
Fear me not, my lord. I will not be myself nor have cognition of what I feel. I am all patience.
Now the pledge. Now.
Here, Diomed, keep this sleeve.
Oh, beauty, where is thy faith?
My lord!
I will be patient. Outwardly I will.
You look upon that sleeve. Behold it well. He loved me. Oh, false wench. Give it me again.
Whose was't?
It is no matter. Now I have it again. I will not meet with you tomorrow night. I prithee, Diomed, visit me no more.
Now she sharpens. Well said, Whetstone.
I shall have it.
What, this?
I that.
Oh, you gods, oh pretty pledge. Thy master now lies thinking on his bed of thee and me, and sighs and takes my glove and gives memorial dainty kisses to it, as I kiss thee.
Nay, do not snatch it from me.
He that takes that doth take my heart withal.
I had your heart before. This follows it.
I did swear patience.
You shall not have it, Diomed. Faith, you shall not. I'll give you something else.
I will have this. Whose was it?
It is no matter.
Come, tell me whose it was.
'Twas one's that loved me better than you will. But now you have it. Take it.
Whose was it?
By all Diana's waiting women yond, and by herself I will not tell you whose.
Tomorrow will I wear it on my helm, and grieve his spirit that dares not challenge it.
Wert thou the devil and worsted on thy horn, it should be challenged.
Well, 'tis done. 'Tis past. And yet it is not. I will not keep my word.
Well then, farewell. Thou shalt never mock Diomed again.
You shall not go. One cannot speak a word, but it straight starts you.
I do not like this fooling.
Nor I, by Pluto, but that the likes not you pleases me best.
What, shall I come? The hour?
Aye, come. Oh, Jove, do come. I shall be plagued.
Farewell, till then.
Good night. I prithee, come. Troilus, farewell. One eye yet looks on thee, but with my heart the other eye doth see. Ah, poor our sex, this fault in us I find. The error of our eye directs our mind. What error leads must err. Oh, then conclude. Mine swayed by eyes are full of turpitude.
A proof of strength. She could not publish more, unless she said, "My mind is now turned whore."
All's done, my lord.
It is.
Why stay we then?
To make a recordation to my soul of every syllable that here was spoke. But if I tell how these two did co-act, shall I not lie in publishing a truth? Sith yet there is credence in my heart, an esperance so obstinately strong that doth invert the attest of eyes and ears as if those organs had deceptuous functions, created only to calumniate. Was Cressida here?
I cannot conjure, Trojan.
She was not. Sure.
Most sure she was.
Why? My negation hath no taste of madness.
Nor mine, my lord. Cressida was here but now.
Let it not be believed for womanhood. Think we had mothers. Do not give advantage to stubborn cities, apt without a theme for deprivation to square the general sex by Cressida's rule. Rather think this is not Cressida.
What hath she done, prince, that can soil our mothers?
Nothing at all, unless that this were she.
Will he swagger himself out on his own eyes?
This she? No. This is Diomed's Cressida. If beauty have a soul, this is not she. If souls guide vows, if vows be sanctimonies, if sanctimony be the god's delight, if there be rule in unity itself, this is not she. A madness of discourse. That cause sets up with and against itself bifold authority, where reason can revolt without perdition, and loss assume all reason without revolt. This is, and is not, Cressida. Within my soul there doth conduce a fight of this strange nature, that a thing inseparate divides more wider than the sky and earth, and yet the spacious breadth of this division admits no orifex for a point as subtle as Ariadne's broken woof to enter. Instance, oh instance, strong as Pluto's gates, Cressida is mine, tied with the bonds of heaven. Instance, oh instance, strong as heaven itself, the bonds of heaven are slipped, dissolved, and loosed, and with another knot 5 finger tied to the fractions of her faith, orts of her love, the fragments, scraps, the bits, and greasy relics of her o'er-eaten faith are given to Diomed.
May worthy Troilus be half attached with that which here his passion doth express.
Ay, Greek, and that thou shalt be divulged well in characters as red as Mars, his heart inflamed with Venus. Never did young man fancy with so eternal and so fixed a soul. Hark, Greek, as much as I do Cressida love, so much by weight hate I her Diomed. That sleeve is mine, that he'll bear on his helm, were it a casque composed by Vulcan's skill. My sword should bite it, not the dreadful spout which shipmen do the Hurricano call, constringed in mass by the almighty sun, shall dizzy with more clamor Neptune's ear in his descent. Then shall my prompted sword falling on Diomed.
He'll tickle it for his concopy.
Oh, Cressida. Oh, false Cressida, false, false, false! Let all untruths stand by thy stained name, and they'll seem glorious.
Contain yourself, your passion draws ears hither.
I've been sticking you this hour, my lord. Hector, by this, is arming him in Troy. Ajax, your guard, stays to conduct you home.
Have with you, prince, my courteous lord, adieu. Farewell, revolted fair, and Diomed, stand fast and wear a castle on thy head.
I'll bring you to the gates.
Accept distracted thanks.
Would I could meet that rogue Diomed, I would croak like a raven. I would bode. Patroclus will give me anything for the intelligence of this whore. The parrot will not do more for an omen than he for a commodious drab. Lechery still, wars and lechery, nothing else holds fashion, a burning devil take them.
When was my lord so much ungently tempered to stop his ears against admonishment? Unarm, and do not fight today.
You train me to offend you. Get you in by all the everlasting gods. I'll go.
My dreams will sure prove ominous to the day.
No more, I say.
Where is my brother Hector?
Here, sister, armed and bloody in intent. Consort with me in loud and dear petition. Pursue we him on knees, for I have dreamt of bloody turbulence, and this whole night hath nothing been but shapes and forms of slaughter.
Oh, 'tis true.
Ho, bid my trumpet sound.
No notes of Sally, for the heavens, sweet brother.
Begone, I say, the gods have heard me swear.
The gods are deaf to hot and peevish vows. They are polluted offerings and abhorred than spotted livers in the sacrifice.
Oh, be persuaded, do not count it holy to hurt by being just. It is as lawful, for we would give much to use violent thefts and rob in the behalf of charity.
It is the purpose that makes strong the vow, but vows to every purpose must not hold. Unarmed, sweet Hector.
Hold you still, I say. Mine honor keeps the weather of my fate. Life every man holds dear, but the dear man holds honor far more precious dear than life. How now, young man? Meanest thou to fight today?
Cassandra, call my father to persuade.
No faith. Young Troilus, doff thy harness, youth. I am today in the vein of chivalry. Let grow thy sinews their knots, be strong. And tempt not yet the brushes of the war. Unarm thee. Go, and doubt thou not, brave boy. I'll stand today for thee, and me, and Troy.
Brother, you have a vice of mercy in you, which better fits a lion than a man.
What vice is that, good Troilus? Chide me for it.
When many times the captive Grecian falls, even in the fan and wind of your fair sword, you bid them rise and live.
Ah, 'tis fair play.
Fools, play, by heaven, Hector.
How now, how now?
For the love of all the gods, let's leave the hermit pity with our mother. And when we have our armors buckled on, the venomed vengeance ride upon our swords. Spur them to ruthful work. Reign them from ruth.
Fie, savage, fie!
Hector! Then 'tis wars.
Troilus, I would not have you fight today.
Who should withhold me? Not fate, obedience, nor the hand of Mars, beckoning with fiery truncheon my retire. Not Priamus and Hecuba on knees, their eyes o'ergalled with recourse of tears, nor you, my brother, with your true sword drawn opposed to hinder me, should stop my way, but by my ruin.
Lay hold upon him, Priam. Hold him fast. He is thy crutch. Now if thou loose thy stay, thou on him leaning, and all Troy on thee fall all together.
Come, Hector, come. Go back. Thy wife hath dreamt, thy mother hath had visions, Cassandra doth foresee, and I myself am like a prophet suddenly enwrapped to tell thee that this day is ominous. Therefore, come back.
Aeneas is a field, and I do stand engaged to many Greeks, even in the faith of valor to appear this morning to them.
Aye, but thou shalt not go.
I must not break my faith. You know me dutiful, therefore, dear sir, let me not shame, respect, but give me leave to take that course by your consent and voice, which you do here forbid me, royal Priam.
Oh, Priam, yield not to him.
Do not, dear father.
Andromache, I am offended with you. Upon the love you bear me, get you in.
This foolish, dreaming, superstitious girl makes all these bodements.
Oh, farewell, dear Hector. Look how thou diest. Look how thy eye turns pale. Look how thy wounds do bleed at many vents. Hark, how Troy roars. How Hecuba cries out. How poor Andromache shrills her dolor forth. Behold, distraction, frenzy, and amazement, like witless antics, one another meet, and all cry, Hector! Hector is dead! Oh, Hector!
Away, away!
Farewell, yet soft. Hector, I take my leave. Thou dost thyself and all our Troy deceive.
You are amazed, my liege? Better exclaim. Go in and cheer the town. We'll forth and fight, do deeds worth praise, and tell you them at night.
Farewell. The gods with safety stand with thee.
They are at it. Hark! Proud Diomed, believe I come to lose my arm or win my sleeve.
Do you hear, my lord? Do you hear?
Well, what now?
Here's a letter come for yon poor girl.
Let me read.
A whoresome, rascally fathistic so troubles me. A foolish fortune of this girl. What's one thing? What's another? That I shall leave you in one of these days, and I have runneth mine eyes too, and such an ache in my bone that unless a man were cursed, I cannot tell what to think on it. What says she there?
Words. Words. Mere words. No matter from the heart. The effect doth operate another way. Go, wind to wind, their turn and change together. My love with words and errors still she feeds, but edifies another with her deeds.
Now they are clapper-clawing one another. I'll go look on. That dissembling, abominable varlet Diomed has got that same scurvy, doting, foolish young knave's sleeve of Troy there in his helm. I would fain see them meet, that the same young Trojan ass that loves the whore there might send that Greekish whore masterly villain with the sleeve back to the dissembling, luxurious drab of a sleeveless errant. Oh, the t'other side. The policy of those crafty, swearing rascals, that stale old mouse-eaten dry cheese Nestor, and that same dog-fox Ulysses, is not proved worthy a blackberry. They set me up in policy, that mongrel cur, Ajax, against that dog of as bad a kind, Achilles, and now is a cur Ajax prouder than the cur Achilles, and will not arm today, whereupon the Grecians begin to proclaim barbarism, and policy grows into an ill opinion. Soft. Here comes sleeve and other.
Lie not, for shouldst thou take the river Styx, I would swim after.
Thou does miscall retire. I do not fly, but advantageous care withdrew me from the odds of multitude. Have at thee.
Hold thy whore, Grecian. Now for thy whore, Trojan. Now the sleeve, now the sleeve.
What art thou, Greek? Art thou for Hector's match? Art thou of blood and honor?
No, I am a rascal, a scurvy railing knave, a very filthy rogue.
I do believe thee. Live.
God of mercy that thou wilt believe me, but a plague break thy neck for frightening me. What's become of this wenching rogues? I think they have swallowed one another. I would laugh at that miracle, yet, in a sort, lechery eats itself. I'll seek them.
Go, go, my servant, take thou Troilus' horse. Present the fair steed to my lady Cressida. Fellow, command my service to her beauty. Tell her I have chastised the amorous Trojan, and am her knight by proof.
I go, my lord.
Renew. The fierce Polydamas hath beat down Menanon. The bastard Margageraton hath Doris prisoner, and stands Colossus-wise, waving his beam upon the pashade courses of the kings. Epitrophilus and Cedius, Polyxenes is slain. Amphimachus and Thous deadly hurt, Patroclus ta'en or slain, and Polymendes sore hurt and bruised. The dreadful statuary appalls our numbers. Haste we, Diomede, to reinforcement, or we perish all.
Bear Patroclus' body to Achilles, and bid the snail-paced Ajax arm for shame. There is 1,000 Hectors in the field, now here he fights on Galphin, his horse, and there lacks work. Anon he's there afoot, and there they fly or die, like scaled skulls, before the belching whale. Then is he yonder, and there the straw Greeks, ripe for his edge, fall down before him like the mower's swath. Here, there, and everywhere he leaves and takes. Dexterity so obeying appetite, that what he will he does, and does so much that proof is called impossibility.
Oh, courage, courage, princes! Great Achilles is arming, weeping, cursing, vowing vengeance. Patroclus's wounds have roused his drowsy blood together with his mangled myrmidons. That noseless, handless, hacked and chipped come to him crying on Hector. Ajax hath lost a friend and foams at mouth, and he is armed and at it, roaring for Troilus, who hath done today mad and fantastic execution, engaging and redeeming of himself with such a careless force and forceless care, as if that luck in very spite of cunning bade him win all.
Troilus, thou coward, Troilus.
Aye, there!
So we draw together.
Where is this Hector? Come, thou boy queller, show thy face. Know what it is to meet Achilles angry. Hector! Where's Hector? I will none but Hector.
Troilus, thou coward, Troilus, show thy head.
Troilus, I say, where's Troilus?
What wouldest thou?
I would correct him.
Were I the general, thou shouldst have my office ere that correction. Troilus, I say, what Troilus?
Oh, traitor Diomede, turn thy false face, thou traitor, and pay the life thou owest me for my horse.
Ha! Art thou there?
I'll fight with him alone. Stand, Diomede.
He is my prize I will not look upon.
Come both you cogging Greeks, how about you both?
Yea, Troilus? Oh, well fought, my youngest brother.
Now do I see thee. Ha! Have at thee, Hector!
Pah, if thou wilt.
I do disdain thy courtesy, proud Trojan. Be happy that my arms are out of use. My rest and negligence befriends thee now, but thou anon shalt hear of me again. Till then, go seek thy fortune.
Fare thee well. I would have been a much more fresher man had I expected thee. How now, my brother?
Ajax hath ta'en Aeneas. Shall it be? No. By the flame of yonder glorious heaven he shall not carry him. I'll be ta'en too, or bring him off. Fate, hear me what I say, I reck not, though I end my life today.
Stand, thou Greek! Thou art a goodly mark. No? Wilt thou not? I like thy armor well. I'll fresh it and unlock the rivets all, but I'll be master of it. Wilt thou not, beast, abide? Why then fly on, I'll hunt thee for thy hide.
Come here about me, you, my Myrmidons. Mark what I say, attend me where I will. Strike not a stroke, but keep yourselves in breath. And when I have the bloody Hector found, impale him with your weapons round about. In fellest manner execute your arms. Follow me, sirs, and my proceedings it is decreed Hector the Great must die.
The cuckold and the cuckold maker are at it. Now bull, now dog, lo, Paris, lo, now my double-headed sparrow, lo, Paris, lo, the bull has a game, wear horns, ho!
Turn, slave, and fight.
What art thou?
A bastard son of Priam's.
I am a bastard too. I love bastards. I am a bastard begot, bastard instructed, bastard in mind, bastard in valor, in everything illegitimate. One bear will not bite me, and therefore, should one bastard take heed, the quarrel's most ominous to us. If the son of a whore fight for a whore, he tempts judgment. Farewell, bastard.
The devil take thee, coward.
Most putrefied core. So fair without thy goodly armor thou hast cost, thus hath cost thy life. Now is my day's work done. I'll take my breath. Rest, sword. Thou hast thy fill of blood and death.
Look, Hector, how the sun begins to set, how ugly night comes breathing at his heels. Even with the veil and darkening of the sun to close the day up, Hector's life is done.
I am unarmed. Forgo this vantage, Greek.
Strike, fellows, strike! This is the man I seek. So, Ilium, fall thou next. Come, Troy, sink down. Here lies thy heart, thy sinews, and thy bone. O Myrmidons, and cry you all amain, Achilles hath the mighty Hector slain. Hark! A retire upon our Grecian heart.
The Trojan trumpet sound alike, my lord.
The dragon wing of night o'erspreads the earth, and stickler-like the army separates. My half-supped sword, that frankly would have fed, pleased with this dainty bait, thus goes to bed. Come, tie his body to my horse's tail. Along the field I will the Trojan tail.
Hark, what shout is this?
Peace, drums!
Achilles! Achilles, Hector slain! Achilles!
Ruit is Hector slain and by Achilles.
If that be so, yet bragless let it be. Great Hector was a good man as he.
March patiently along. Let one be sent to pray Achilles see us at our tent. If his death the gods have us befriended, great Troy's ours, and our sharp wars are ended.
Stand, ho! Yet we are masters of the field. Never go home. Here starve we out the night.
Hector is slain.
Hector?
Hector!
Gods forbid.
Gods forbid.
He's dead. And at the murderer horse's tail, in beastly sort dragged through the shameful field. Frown on, you heavens. Affect your rage with speed. Sit, gods, upon your thrones, and smite at Troy. I say at once, let your brief plagues be mercy, and linger not our sure destructions on.
My lord, you do discomfort all the host.
You understand me not that tell me so. I do not speak of flight, of fear, of death, but dare all imminence that gods and men address their dangers in. Hector's gone. Who shall tell Priam so, or Hecuba? Let him that will a screech owl I be called go into Troy and say their Hector's dead. There is a word will Priam turn to stone, make wells and Niobes of the maids and wives, cold statues of the youth, and in a word, scare Troy out of itself. But march away. Hector is dead, there's no more to say. Stay yet, you vile, abominable tents, thus proudly pitched upon our Phrygian plains. Let Titan rise as early as he dare, All through and through you, and thou great-sized coward, no space of earth shall sunder our two hates. I'll haunt thee like a wicked conscience still that moldeth goblins swift as frenzy's thoughts. Strike a free march to Troy. With comfort, go. Hope of revenge shall hide our inward woe.
Hear you, hear you.
Hence, broker, lackey, ignominy and shame, pursue thy life, and live I with thy name.
Goodly medicine for my aching bones, O world, world, world! Thus this poor agent despised, O traitors in bonds! How earnestly are you set a work, and how ill requited! Why should our endeavor be so loved and the performance so loath? What verse for it? For instance, what instance for it? Let me see. Full merrily the humble bee doth singing till he hath lost his honey and his sting, and being once subdued in the armored tail, sweet honey and sweet notes together fail. Good traitors in flesh, this still is a painted cloth. As many as been here in Pandarus' hall, your eyes hath out, weep out in Pandarus' fall. Or if you cannot weep, yet give some groans, though not for me, yet for your aching bones, brethren and sisters of the whole door trade. Some 2 months hence my will shall be made. It should be now, but that is my fear. That my fear is this: should galled goose of Winchester would hiss, till then I sweat and seek about for eases, and all the time bequeath you my diseases.
I have no clue what I said.
Don't worry, I don't know what you said either.
What's the deal with Troilus and Cressida?
This for anybody who isn't aware, this was our third reading in our Shakespeare series. These are the three earliest Shakespeare plays chronologically, like story-wise. This is like ancient past, as well as Midsummer Night's Dream was our first one, and Two Noble Kinsmen. Those two plays take place like in early Athens days, and obviously they're fictional stories and like mythical and all that. But in terms of like that's like early Athens. This is like Trojan War, so it's like 100 years after that. But it's all still like 1,000 years BC ish. And so I thought that would be a fun way to navigate some Shakespeare and give a little bit of a connective thread to everything. I do hope to do more Shakespeare shows soon. The next three that I would be doing is King Lear, Coriolanus, and Timon of Athens. Is that what it's called? Timon of Athens.
Timon?
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 No.
I don't think
Timon
it's
and
I don't think
Pumbaa
it's
of
Timon.
Athens.
It is
Pumbaa.
spelled Timon. Jerome, I really loved Thersites' just endless ramblings.
Oh,
And like insults and just pure just spewing
Yeah.
out.
And
More
the
earwax
fucking
than brains.
I got killed on stage gloriously. Well, not
and
gloriously.
that's
Cowardly.
I
You
will
coward,
say
Achilles.
I would love to stage Hector's death. It's such a cool like epic, like all the Myrmidons come on stage and just savagely just rip him to shreds.
Achilles takes
And
credit.
that would be such a cool
I would love to be ripped apart on stage.
yeah. It's a
Um,
single performance.
I was just hoping that there was going to be a scene,
Corey.
Hector getting absolutely torn apart, and then just one person walks up to Achilles and pokes his heel, and he just explodes.
I think what we really needed was Cassandra coming back and saying, "Yep."
Nobody
Yeah.
nobody
Well,
likes
that just
Cassandra in this
happened.
play.
Well, that's like the lore of Cassandra.
Yeah, nobody likes Cassandra.
That's the idea. Is like
Does
she was given the
Andromache
gift
like
of
Cassandra?
what?
Does
Andromache likes
Andromache? Does she like Cassandra?
Andromache?
Andromache?
I was just gonna say there's a Taylor
Andromache.
Swift song about Cassandra. That was my piece.
It is great.
Andromach. I'm pretty sure it's Andromach.
I don't think that's it. Cressida, you did not have any loyalty to Troilus whatsoever. Like it wasn't even like a thought. Like you're just like, no, he's nothing to me. Just instantly.
To be fair, he doesn't deserve it.
Well, I also did. I had those few moments of like, Troilus, and then I came back. You know.
Yeah,
Well,
but
who
isn't
could
that
blame
just to
her?
make yourself feel better?
Oh, probably.
Right, because it
That's
almost
upsetting.
came across as more of like teasing Diomedes,
Yep.
like being
Yeah.
like playful with him than it did like sincere concern.
I mean, that's kind of how the script reads too.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
It's a
Yeah,
little
no.
performative.
I love the
Yeah.
double. I love the double like asides. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
Ulysses and Troilus
It's-
are overhearing one conversation, and Thersites is overhearing all the conversations.
Yeah.
It's very much ado.
Yeah, very much so. I do.
Yeah.
Very much ado.
Very much. I do.